The following is an exclusive presentation of Sports Vision. Last night, Ron Kittle hit his last home run in a White Sox uniform as the Sox beat Boston 4-1. Kittle, Tollison, and Skinner were traded to the Yankees for catcher Ron Hassey, minor league infielder Carlos Martinez, and a player to be named later. But tonight, it's business as usual as the White Sox and Red Sox wrap up the three-game series. In the rubber game, the White Sox will send Jose De Leon to the mound. He'll be opposed by 17-game winner Roger Clemens for Boston. We'll have all the action next on Sports Vision, live from Comiskey Park.
White Sox and Sports Vision are just winding up as they continue their pennant pursuit with 13 live games on Sports Vision. And if that leaves you hungry for more, watch Sox 86 Weekly, the official highlight show of the White Sox, the Pennant Chase, and Yankee Magazine for the latest news in the baseball world. Next, we'll jar your senses with the premiere of the Metropolitan Football League and their historic game in England, the IHSA All-Star Game, 1986 NCAA football preview, and the start of Northern Illinois football.
Sevens are at King Nissan, and Ray Hayward, the king of Nissan, says nobody sells Nissans for less. King Nissan, your home for king-size discounts on 5 new exciting 1987 Sentra models. Sport coupes, 2 doors, 4 doors, hatchbacks, and wagons, all new for '87. And nobody sells Nissans for less than King Nissan. The King also has the new 1987 luxurious Maximus sedans, station wagons, and sports sedans. King Nissan is the Midwest's largest Nissan dealer because nobody sells Nissans for less. And King Nissan prices start as low as $6209. Ray Hayward's King Nissan, 6200 West Toohey in Niles.
Sports Vision presents the 1986 Chicago White Sox. This game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. Winning numbers are now drawn twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday. Play Lotto. And by your neighborhood True Value store. And by Toyota. Compare. It's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by Empire, carpeting from $6.95 a yard installed, including polyfoam padding and delivery in 72 hours. And by Hertz. You don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
Live from Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois, it's the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. The starting pitchers, 2 right-handers, Roger Clemens for Boston and Jose De Leon for the White Sox. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Comiskey Park. I'm Don Drysdale along with Frank Messer. Happy that you've joined us tonight. It's the third and final game, the rubber game of this three-game series. The Red Sox winning opening night 3-1, and the White Sox coming back and winning last night, Frank, behind Joe Cali 4-1. An excellent pitching performance, but then all of a sudden, bodies change. They move around to different uniforms. The trade between the Yankees, and all of a sudden you're sitting back scratching your head and say, well, what's next?
Well, what's next? Go out and buy a program. That's what's next. So you know who is playing. Ron Hassey, who came over to the White Sox in that trade, will be in the lineup tonight. I'm really excited about this ball game. First of all, we'll see the best pitcher in baseball, Roger Clemens, pitch for Boston. I think it's always a challenge to a ball club, Don, and you would know this from the days that you pitched. It's a challenge to go out and try to beat the best, and that's what the White Sox will try to do tonight.
Well, Roger Clemens won his first 14 in a row, and he carries just a 17-2 record into tonight's game. That's all, just 17-2, and certainly without any injury to Roger, why a shoe-in for the Cy Young Award in the American League. And Jose De Leon did a good job his first start.
He really did down in Baltimore. Jose did do a good job, and his work is going to be cut out for him tonight.
As he faces the Eastern Division leaders, and we'll give you the starting lineups as the White Sox take the field.
And for the Boston Red Sox, leading off and playing shortstop, it'll be Eddie Romero. Wade Boggs at third base, Bill Buckner at first. Jim Rice bats cleanup and plays left. Don Baylor is the designated hitter. Dwight Evans in right field. Tony Armas in center. Rich Gedman catching. And Dave Stapleton will be at second base tonight instead of Marty Barrett. On the mound for the Boston Red Sox, as we were talking about in the opener, Roger Clemens, 17-2, a 2.50 earned run average. He'll be making his 21st start. He has struck out a batter an inning and also leads the American League in strikeouts. More to say about Clemens as we go along, and he'll pitch to a Sox batting order of John Cangelosi playing center, Steve Lyons in left, Harold Baines in right, Greg Walker, the cleanup hitter at first. Ron Hasse, wasting no time putting the Sox uniform on, will be the DH. Carlton Fisk will catch. Tim Hewlett at third base. Ozzie Guillen at shortstop, and Julio Cruz will play second base tonight for Chicago. Jose De Leon making his second start for the Sox. He pitched 4 innings down in Baltimore, allowed 4 base hits. He was wild, walked 6 in that ball game while striking out 4. The umpires tonight at home plate, Tim Shida. At first base, Greg Kosk. At second base, crew chief Richie Garcia. And at third base, Rick Reed. It's a nice evening for baseball. The breeze is blowing from right toward left field, just rippling Old Glory out there on top of the right center field grandstand. The temperature is 76 degrees here at Comiskey Park, and we have partly cloudy skies. So there is Jose De Leon. No record. He allowed 1 earned run in his 4 innings pitched down in Baltimore. The only detriment to his start down there was the wildness in which he walked 6 men. He had bounced up and down between the Pirates and Hawaii this year. We'll talk about him as we go along. The Sox will back him up with Steve Lyons in left, John Cangelosi in center, Harold Baines in right, Tim Hewlett at third, Ozzie Guillen at short, Julio Cruz at second base, and Greg Walker at first base. Carlton Fisk will catch De Leon. So we're set to go here at Comiskey Park, the rubber game of this series. Sox have had good pitching throughout the series. Only 6 base hits allowed, 4 by Bannister night before last, and 2 by Cowley in last night's ball game, with Bo James getting a save, retiring the last batter. We're set to go, and to tell you all about it, here is Don Drysdale.
Thank you very much, Frank, and once again, good evening, everyone. De Leon ready to go to Romero, Boggs, and Buckner in that order, and the big right-hander's first pitch in and over. And we're underway. Romero's starting tonight at 210 without a home run. He has 16 RBIs. Good fastball, and it's 0-2. Looking at your Red Sox coaches, Rene Latchman at third and Walt Reniak at first. The 0-2 pitch to Romero. Line down the left field line, and that'll go into the corner on a hanging curveball and bouncing into the seats. That'll be a ground rule double, I believe. Looked like a fan touched it.
Well, looked to me like it bounced out of the ballpark, Don. It should be ruled a ground rule double. I did not see a sign from third base umpire Rick Reed, but that is where the batter stops at second base. A 2-base hit for Romero. Now watch the ball hit right there, bounces up, and that is out of the ballpark. Even though the fan did not touch it, the ball did bounce out of the ballpark, out of the playing area, and that has to be ruled a 2-base hit. No call made by Reed, but that's where Romero stops anyway.
Here's Wade Boggs hitting .345, 5 home runs and 45 RBIs. Fastball taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Boggs, you see, 0 for 7 in the series. He's fighting a little 0 for 14 streak. Billy Buckner on deck. Well, you wonder where that pitch was. Fisk saying something to Shida. See, Boggs leading the major leagues with a .345 average. Down the left field line, Lyons moving over, and he runs out of room. So the count goes to 1-2.
Gilby Brooks of Montreal, Don, leads the National League in hitting. He's got a .337 batting average. So Boggs, indeed, the leading hitter in the majors at .345, despite his mini slump.
Up high and off of the glove of Carlton Fisk as Romero goes to third.
That looked like Fisk may have been crossed up with that pitch, but I think it's got to be scored as a pass ball. We'll take another look at it here. That ball just sails, and Carlton has it hit right off the top of his mitt as he is unable to get up. There it is, sort of a sailor from De Leon.
That was a fork ball, and it just kind of took off.
He had that fork turned the wrong way, didn't he? Tines were up instead of down.
Yeah, they give him a wild pitch. Romero standing at third. 2-2 the count. Shallow pop fly to left. Lyons coming on. Might have a play. Will have a play. Romero tagged. Good play by Lyons. And he's got a hold at third. Excellent play by Steve Lyons.
Really was. Let's take another look at it. That ball right out over the plate, and Boggs slices it down the left side. Now watch Lyons go to the stands. He knows he's got to make a throw if he catches the ball. He makes the catch, pushes himself off the wall, and makes the throw. And there's Romero's reaction. He tags, starts down the line, sees the throw coming in as Latchman gets down to get out of the way of the throw. Either that or else he's trying to pick four-leaf clovers down there outside the coaching box. And there's one out with no run scoring.
And here's Billy Buckner hitting .251, 10 home runs, 55 RBIs. Low and away with a fastball, and the count 1-0. California defeated Oakland this afternoon 6-2.
Milwaukee Brewers, Don, swept their series from the Yankees, winning today 5-0 over at County Stadium.
There's a bouncer hit to Cruz. Romero scores, and it's 1-0 Boston.
Well, right there, with the infield playing back, the run does come in. Indication that, well, we'll take another look at it. Ball is bounced by Buckner to the right side. The infield playing back, giving up the run as Buckner is thrown out easily by Cruz. But that's sort of a vote of confidence, I think, by Jim Fregosi to his hitters tonight. Figure they'll be able to make up that run off the best pitcher in baseball, Roger Clemens.
Yes, sir. That definitely dictates that as Jim Rice stands in with an 8-game hitting streak going for him as he takes a strike. Well, two bad pitches by Jose have cost him a run. One when he went to the off-speed pitch to Romero and he doubled down the line, and the other with a fork ball that went off of the glove of Carlton Fisk, allowing Romero to go to third. There's a little check swing and a soft liner hit to Cruz. And that'll do it. The Red Sox with a run on a hit, no errors. And they leave nobody. And after the first half inning of play, it's Boston 1, the White Sox coming up.
Follow the Chicago White Sox on Sports Vision all season long. It's the quest for the West. From the opening pitch to the game-winning home run, Sports Vision is where you can capture all the line drives, the spectacular catches, and acrobatic double plays of the White Sox. It's the Sox in '86, the quest for the West on Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable. It'll be the White Sox against the Detroit Tigers here on Chicago's winners on cable, Sports Vision.
What covers 26 teams, stars 958 players. Last year stole over 3,000 bases, threw 5 no-hitters, slugged 3,258 home runs, gave us some new dance steps, shagged a few flies, and blew a few kisses. Give up? It's the Pennant Chase, where each week you can flip through baseball's vital statistics and follow the fates and fortunes of your favorite team. Don't forget, it's the Pennant Chase.
Well, you're looking at Roger Clemens. Now, Clemens opened the season with 14 consecutive wins. He had 15 starts and he won 14. Look at the company he's in. Rube Marquardt of the New York Giants in 1912 won his first 19 decisions. Elroy Face of the Pirates in 59 won 17 in a row, and those were all in relief. Then Dave McNally of Baltimore in 69, 15-0. And Allen of Cleveland, that's Johnny Allen, went 15-0 and wound up the season with a record of 15-1. Now those people, Marquardt wound up the year with a record of 26-11. Face was 18-1, all in relief. McNally, after starting out 15-0, 120 and lost 7. We mentioned Johnny Allen was 15-1. And Roger Clemens right now has won 17, lost only 2. His earned run average of 2.50 leads the league. He also leads the league in strikeouts with 161 strikeouts. And he doesn't walk anybody. Look at that. Only 39 walks in 162 innings pitched. His hits allowed and walks are both much less than innings pitched. He has given up only 105 base hits in 162 innings. And as Don Drysdale mentioned in his opening remarks, unless something drastic happens, this young man is a shoo-in for the Cy Young Award in the American League. And there's the backup for him. Rice in left, Armas in center, Evans in right, Boggs, Romero, Stapleton, and Buckner around the infield, third to first. And Rich Gedman is catching. I'll tell you one thing, Don Drysdale, if the Red Sox win the pennant, I wouldn't be surprised if this kid, Clemens, not only wins the Cy Young, but the MVP award, because there's no outstanding candidate for it unless it might be Wade Boggs.
Well, that's a very good possibility, no question about that. He's having quite a year, and who knows where he's going to end up. Cangelosi ready to lead it off. He's hit safely in 6 of 7, hitting .252 with a pair of home runs, 21 RBIs as Clemens delivers low, the count 1-0. Your White Sox coaches are Rader at third and Brinkman at first. There's a bouncer. Clemens off in a hurry, gives it to Buckner. 1 away.
I'll tell you, it's a good thing Clemens is able to make that play. Stapleton, charging in from second base, might not have been able to throw Cangelosi out. But Clemens did make the play in fielding his position. On this road trip, well, Clemens won his last start Friday out in California. This season, he's 1-0 with a 1.10 ERA, 3.1 lifetime with a 1.93 against the Chicago White Sox. I'll tell you, with the oil can Boyd messed up, without Clemens, the Red Sox would really be in trouble. Even with Clemens, they can feel the Orioles and the Yankees breathing down their necks, Don.
Boy, that is true. As Lyon sends a ground ball to Buckner, he'll go to the bag and do it himself. 2 outs, and that'll bring on Harold Baines. Baines hitting .302 with 13 home runs, 59 RBIs, and of course that will lead the Sox in the race for the Arby's RBI award. Baines, 5 hits in his last 32 at bats. On deck, Greg Walker. Want to know the count. And Roger Clemens is not adverse to doing that, just leaning you back a little, letting you know he's out there. And I'll tell you, that's more to his credit. Anyone that'll do that today has got a little bit of a chance of winning. You don't, you got a better chance of losing. There's a check swing foul, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Good crowd on hand, and I'm sure that you can just kind of donate that to the man on the mound, Roger Clemens. And the breaking pitch down low. The count 2-1. Baines hitting just .214 off of Clemens. 3 hits and 14 at bats. And a bouncer. Clemens has it. He's a good athlete. And he throws Baines out easily, and the Sox go easily 1-2-3. After 1, Boston leads it 1-0.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing.
Sadowski. Shaboski.
a chance.
Pronounced Shidworski.
You're gonna make it here, 'cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste
Hey, Sid.
that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
A painting project isn't child's play, so make sure you get the right painting equipment from True Value hardware stores. Like a Red Devil scraper, putty knife, or spackling compound for good preparation. The Wagner Power Stripper is the fast, easy way to take old paint off almost any surface. The Campbell Hausfeld Power Pal air compressor makes painting and other jobs easier. And check out True Test XO Rust, the paints that lock out moisture to fight rust. They're available exclusively at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Daryl, it's 110 stories high.
World's tallest building. You ready?
Daryl, are you sure these will hold us?
No problem. They'll take us all the way to the top.
But, Daryl-
There'll be endorsements,
This guy,
TV
Daryl-
appearances, books. We'll make millions. You ready?
Are you sure these will hold?
Trust me. They'll stick like glue.
There's an easier way to reach new financial heights. Play Lotto.
This afternoon, the Brewers shut out the Yankees 5-0. A six-hitter by Teddy Higuera. California beat Oakland 6-2. Tonight, Detroit is in Cleveland. Toronto at Kansas City, Seattle and Minnesota, Baltimore at Texas. And in the National League, the Cubs and the Mets in New York, Pittsburgh and Montreal. The Cardinals are in Philadelphia. The Atlanta Braves in Houston, the Reds are in San Diego, and the Giants are visiting the Dodgers. We'll update those scores as we go along. Don?
Don Baylor takes high. The count 1-0. Baylor hitting .242, 18 home runs, 63 RBIs. 1-0 Boston, top of the second. Two and 0 the count.
I have not seen a box score on that Yankee-Brewers game, but I am told that Teddy Higuera pitched a six-hitter in getting the shutout for his 13th win. I'm also told that Wayne Tonnison went 2 for 3 in the ball game. That, well, we know Jim Gantner had a home run, his 5th of the year, for at least one of the runs for the Brewers. I understand, too, that Ron Kittle struck out 3 times, Don, and did you tell me Joel Skinner had a pair of hits?
That's what I heard, that Skinner had a pair of hits.
Well, I'll tell you, without Skinner and Tonnison, then Higuera would have had a 2-hit shutout.
That's right. That's exactly right. As you look at Dwight Evans on deck. And very quickly, the count 3-2. Walks him on a high fastball.
With that win, the Brewers swept the Yankees the 3-game series over there at County Stadium.
Now the Yankees starting today 4 games behind Boston. Red Sox have been struggling. The Yankees got to within 3, then 4, and Red Sox win a couple, and all of a sudden that's the way it goes.
You know, the Red Sox have their eye on the Baltimore Orioles right now.
Breaking pitch to Evans is in and over for a strike. Hey, you were talking about that last night. Starting the day, Baltimore in the 3rd spot, 4.5 behind New York, who was 4 back. Then Cleveland 6.5, Detroit 6.5, Toronto 6.5. So there's a whole bunch of people creeping up. And it's not going to be long before that East meets the East. And that's 1-1 the count.
Yeah, in the American League, the East is East and the West is West, and the twain shall meet.
Baylor at first. Walker holding nobody out. little high. The count 2-1.
Dwight Evans, you see right there, has had a pretty hot bat over the last couple of weeks.
And the breaking pitch in and over. The count goes even at 2-2.
Evans' 64 RBIs lead the Boston Red Sox. As you look at Tony Armas waiting on deck, Baylor has driven in 63. And Jim Rice 62.
Struck him out. Though Evans down on strike.
Now take a look at that last pitch. As Evans seems to swing right through it. And De Leon has his first strikeouts. Boy, that is a lot of strikeouts. 8.1 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched in his major league career.
Yeah, the young man's got a good arm. That last pitch, I don't know whether we've lost it already, but it is probably the one of the negative things that De Leon has to work on. I don't know whether Jimmy Angio can take it. It was that shot right there. That's fouled out of play. It was just the replay of De Leon. But he has a tendency to be a straight up and down type pitcher and a recoiler. And it's awfully hard to throw from the angle that he throws from and to be a straight up and down type pitcher or a recoiler. Now watch how his body comes right. See how he's straight up in the air and how he's recoiling right there. He is not coming through, and that's awfully hard to do. That'd be a good one for, I don't know whether, Jimmy, you could just cut that out and save it and give it to Dick Bosman. I'm sure he'd like to see something like that. One ball and one strike to count with one out. Baylor at first, Tony Armas. Hitting .271. He has 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. Outside, and the count goes to 2-1. Two balls to strike, 1 out, 1 on, and it's 1-0 Boston. We're in the top half of the second inning. High pop right side. Cruz calling. And Julio will take it. Man, that's a major league pop up. Way up in the air. 2 outs to Gedman.
Well, you mentioned Armas with only 4 home runs. He'd like to straighten some of those pop-ups out. Hit him for distance. This could be only the second time in his entire major league career that he does not reach double figures in home runs.
Here's Rich Gedman hitting .259, 8 home runs and 39 RBIs. Breaking pitch outside to count 1-0. 1-0 Boston. Dave Stapleton on deck. Two and 0 the count. Foul out of play, and the count goes 2-1. Tomorrow night, the Detroit Tigers come in for the final appearance series of the year. George Anderson and crew. It'll be Richard Dodson and Walt Terrell, followed by Floyd Bennett. I should say make that Friday night. Tomorrow is an off night. There's a drive hit to right center field, but playable. Baines is there, makes the catch, and that will do it. Side retired, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Boston.
Now, Schaumburg Toyota, Chicagoland's largest volume Toyota dealer, is out to sell 500 brand new Toyotas. So Schaumburg Toyota is going to double their volume and triple your savings. Schaumburg Toyota has over 3 acres of hard-to-find Toyotas now on sale. All models now available for immediate delivery. Unheard of savings. If you don't get the Schaumburg price, you'll probably pay too much. Now's the time to really save on so much more at the one and only Schaumburg Toyota. 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota!
Domino's Pizza Team Tennis is here in Chicagoland. Hi, this is Billie Jean King. Come out and cheer for your own Chicago Fire's Yvonne Vermaak, Lee Shires, John Mackey, and Molly Van Nostrum. See them go up against opposing players such as Eli Nastasi, Elliot Telscher, and Andrea Yeager. Each match is 5 exciting sets, played at the Hamilton Lakes Hotel in Itasca, 2 miles south of the Woodfield Mall, east of 53. The Chicago Fire season runs from July 11th through August 10th. For information, call 647-0505.
It's the USBL on Sports Vision, the United States Basketball League, the league that's one jump from the NBA. The league that brought Manute Bol and Spud Webb to the NBA now brings you the first woman to play basketball in a men's professional league, All-American and Olympic star Nancy Lieberman. See Nancy Lieberman and the Springfield Fames right here on Sports Vision.
Every Monday night, Sox home game this year is a Sox half-price night. All box, reserved, and general admission tickets are half price on Monday nights. There are only 3 of them left this year, and our next half-price night of the year is set for August 25th with the Kansas City Royals in town. The final 2 will be September 15th with the Angels and September 29th against the Seattle Mariners. But the next Monday night half-price night for you and the family will be on August 25th against the Kansas City Royals. Well, we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The middle third of the batting order comes on for the Sox, and that means Walker, Hasse, and Fisk.
And Greg Walker hitting .269. He has 12 home runs, 49 RBIs. Greg with a 6-game hitting streak going for him. Ron Hasse on deck. Fastball taken down low. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Little looper into shallow left field, going out. Romero, he can't get it. Drops in front of right. Base hit for Walker.
Well, you'll see Rice come in as Romero goes back, and neither one can get to it. That's what they call a Texas leaguer, dropping in between the infielder going back and the outfielder coming in.
Now here's Ron Hasse hitting .298 with 6 home runs, 29 RBIs. Those are Yankee numbers as he checks with the Rooster. Doug Rader at third, Carlton Fisk on deck. Fastball taken high, and the count 1-0.
You know, Don, the more I think about it, the more I'm confused. He was White Sox property from December 12th till February 13th. That was sort of a conditional trade right there, conditional on somebody else agreeing to go to New York.
Hit off the hands. Romero goes to Stapleton. Back to first. They double him up.
Well, you have here 2 men who do not run that well, even though the ball is not hit hard at all. Hasse takes a long time getting out of the batter's box, so Romero has plenty of time to get it to Stapleton and back over to first base. And even the ball was not hit at all hard. They do turn over the double play very easily. I started to say, Don, a moment ago, that's the 80th double play turned by the Red Sox. But the Yankees going for a pennant, and Hasse a left-hand hitter, and Yankee Stadium, and a veteran who was able to catch. I am just really surprised at the Yankees trading Hasse at this stage of the campaign.
Well, it's, I guess, about the only way you can talk about that trade is time will tell. And that's, first of all, there's some unknowns that are still involved in that trade. There's an unknown player to be named later as Fisk takes a ball. And you also have the young infielder Carlos Martinez that really nobody is. Jim Fregosi sitting play in winter ball. Just a lot of reports, and some of the White Sox scouts have seen him play. He will be at Buffalo coming up from Albany. As you look at Jim Fregosi, supposed to be a tall kid, just a baby, 19 or 20 years old, about 6'5", real good arm, real good range, real good speed. Like Jimmy said, he said his body, he's going to grow into that body, and he's got a chance to really be something.
Well, I think they must have plans for him to play at third base then, because they've got the fine shortstop right now in Ozzie Guillen, and both kids are from the same hometown, I understand.
That's right, both from Venezuela. 3-0 the count to Carlton Fisk with Timmy Hewlett on deck. Green lighted, fouls it away.
Carlton, incidentally, Don, has the only home run by a Sox player off this man, Roger Clemens, this year.
Carlton did not, a little disgusted. He didn't have a real good swing at that 3-0 pitch. Budge hitting .208, 7 home runs, 45 RBIs. Jams him with a fastball, just eats him up. Boggs at third, makes the catch, and that will do it. White Sox are gone in the second inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. And after 2, 1-0 Boston.
This bud's for everybody who sets them up just so they can knock them down. They're league bowlers, and they know that when you join a league, you get rolling. The competition, the excitement, with good times to spare. Find it all in the leagues at your local bowling center. And league bowlers can compete in the Budweiser Hall of Fame tournament coming this winter. Join the action, join a league, and get rolling. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Cool off your summer with a hot deal at Toyota.
July is jumping. Toyota's jumping.
If you're looking for huge savings, now's the time to save on the biggest selection of Toyotas ever. Save on cars like Celicas and Camrys. Save on Tercels, Toyota's lowest price car. And with factory-to-dealer incentives, there are incredible savings on trucks. So jump on into your Toyota dealers now.
This is the spot for deals. A hot comes down. July is jumping.
One day.
This is Albert. You won't believe Empire can deliver and install your carpet in one day.
One day?
Call Empire today, have your carpeting tomorrow. Only Empire can do that because we're the only guys with our own warehouse.
One day?
We're also the only guys with a low starting price that includes padding and includes installation. So if you're in a rush...
One day?
Right. Empire delivers in just one day.
588-2300 Empire.
Call us. Those other guys are for the birds.
Well, the next Chi Sox Fan Club luncheon will be held this Friday at the Hamilton Hotel in Itasca. The luncheon will feature Carlton Fisk, Tom Haller, and Jim Fregosi. And, of course, remember those luncheons start at 11:45. They end at 1:30. Call 773-4000. Make your reservation now. Or the White Sox at 924-1000. Along with Frank Messer, I'm Don Drysdale. Happy you've joined us tonight. 1-0 Boston through the first 2. As we go to the third to call it for you, here's Frank.
Okay, Don Drysdale, thank you very much, and it'll be Dave Stapleton to lead off. The second baseman is batting .176, no homers, and 1 RBI. For the season, he has played very, very little, been to bat only 17 times. And the pitch high. Stapleton, 3 hits in 17 at-bats. Popped him up left side. Hewlett has plenty of room for a play. And right there in the third base coaching box. Makes the catch, 1 out. Boston scored in the first inning, a double to Romero. He moved to third on a wild pitch and scored on Buckner's ground out to second base as the Sox elected to play the infield back with a runner at third. Romero with that double, the only hit so far of De Leon. Got him on the hands, and it's popped up shallow right center. Long run. Who's going to get there? Ken Gelosi. That one almost dropped in for Romero. Cangelosi came a long way for it. Here it is on the replay. Pitch well down toward the middle of the bat. Here's Cangelosi coming as hard as he can. And makes the play. See him yelling, I got it, I got it. He's calling Baines off the ball. And he does got it. 2 outs. And Wade Boggs will step in. Strike 1 to Boggs. Boggs fouled out to left fielder Lyons. Steve made a good play on the ball in the first inning. Boggs now 0 for 8 in the series. Ball and a strike. And the on-deck hitter, Billy Buckner. Hard shot to the shortstop. And Ginn throws him out. 3 up, 3 down. Rather easy inning for De Leon. In the middle of the third, the score. Boston 1, Chicago nothing.
.9% financing on used cars.
And a 7-day exchange plan.
You'll find your next used car at Willowbrook Ford. With over 150 specially selected vehicles to choose from, we know you'll find something you like, and you'll love the low 7.9% financing.
And we're so confident that you'll like your car that we offer you a 7-day exchange plan if you're not completely satisfied.
7.9% financing on used cars.
And a 7-day exchange plan.
But only this month, and only at Willowbrook Ford on Route 83.
Willowbrook Ford.
Sparky Anderson and his Detroit Tigers invade Comiskey Park Saturday night, August 2nd to battle the White Sox, and we guarantee you'll see fireworks immediately following the game. There will be a spectacular fireworks show courtesy of Kool-Aid. Good seats still available. Tickets at the box office. All Ticketmaster locations, or call 559-1212 and charge your tickets on Visa or MasterCard. Fireworks night, Saturday, August 2nd, sponsored by Kool-Aid.
As the weather heats up, the White Sox look to catch on fire in the Western Division race. Enjoy the hot weather and heat of competition with a group of your friends at a Sox game. The Sox sales team is standing by to take your group order and reserve the best seats in the ballpark. Call 924-1000. The weather and action can't get any hotter than at Comiskey Park. Join the White Sox with a group of your friends as the heat rises in the Western Division. Call 924-1000 to reserve your group tickets.
Well, we'll check the scoreboard for you. You see Milwaukee defeated the Yankees 5-0. And that was an afternoon game. California 6-2 over Oakland, a final. 1-0 Detroit over Cleveland. That's in the third. And the National League, you see the Cubs 4-1 over the Mets in the third. 2-0 Pittsburgh over Montreal in the fifth. St. Louis 2-1 over Philly in the third. Atlanta, Houston, they're just underway. Cincinnati will be at San Diego. San Francisco at Los Angeles on the coast starting later.
Okay, Don, and right here, the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. And Tim Hewlett will be the first batter up for the White Sox in the bottom half of the third. Hewlett batting .258. Timmy has a 5-game hitting streak. He's had 7 hits over those 5 games in 19 at-bats, 1 home run and 3 RBIs. 9 homers for the year as he has begun to show some power for the Sox this season. Fastball away, ball 1. There have been only 2 hits in the ball game. The Red Sox cashed theirs in for a run. The Sox did not. 2 balls and no strikes to Tim Hewlett. Roger Clemens. Two on one. Clemens has taken the spotlight away from the New York Mets' Dwight Gooden, as Clemens considered now by experts to be the best pitcher in baseball today. I'll tell you, I'll take either one of them on my ball club anytime. That's going to be out of play to the seats off the first base side. No chance for Buckner. Clemens leading the majors in wins, leading the American League in ERA. Strikeouts. Seventh pitcher in All-Star game history to retire all 9 batters he faced. Most he was allowed to face, as he pitcher is not allowed to go over 3 innings in an All-Star game. I said he was the 7th in All-Star history to retire 9 consecutive batters. Others whom you may have heard of, Denny McLain did it in the '66 All-Star game. Jim Bunning in '61. Warren Spahn also did it in the '61 All-Star game. Bunning did it prior to that in the 1957 All-Star game. The only pitcher to do it twice. Full count 3-2 on Hewlett. Steve Stone, well known here in Boston, did it in the 1980 All-Star game. Foul back. And in 1959, this young right-hander for the Dodgers retired 9 batters in a row in the 1959 All-Star game. They called him the Sidewinder. I don't know whether they called him the Sidewinder then or not, but later on he became famous as the Sidewinder. My partner, Don Drysdale. How about that? Fouled off by Hewlett. He's having his cuts, 3-2. So those are your super perfect pitchers in All-Star game history. And I'll tell you, Don Drysdale, when he puts his name in the book alongside yours, he's in good company. You and Jim Bunning, the others mentioned there.
Well, I'll tell you, I wish I had his arm right now, even at my age.
That's out of play. I'm going to tell you something. I wish I had his age. I'll keep my own arm. Yes, sir. I'll keep this old arm, do what I can with it.
We've kind of dissected him pretty good, haven't we?
Yep. I'll tell you, though, it's great to watch a young man like that come along. You don't see that many of them come onto the scene. Real super people. That's out of play. Hewlett keeps fouling them off, and the battle goes on.
Well, they are special, and they do stand out. There's no question about that. There's that presence that they have when they're out there, whether it's a pitcher, an infielder, outfielder, whatever it might be.
You know this? Well, we'll get to him again. Another foul. Clemens is only 23 years old on top of that. He won't be 24 until the 4th day of August. Born in Dayton, Ohio, 6'4", 215 pounds. Top of that, he's got green eyes. Means he pitches better at night than he does in the daytime. And back up the middle, and maybe it is. Base hit. So Jimmy Hewlett kept fouling him off and got one he liked and straightened it out. Second hit for the Sox.
Well, you see right here, he comes back with a fastball up and away from Hewlett. He just goes right back up the middle by Clemens, and that's the second White Sox hit.
He threw 12 pitches to Tim Hewlett, and prior to that, in the first 2 innings, he'd only thrown 16 pitches total up till Hewlett's at bat, and he had to throw 12 to Hewlett after 16 to the first 6 hitters in the game. Guillen takes high, ball 1. Ozzie had a pair of infield singles last night as he broke an 0 for 9 stretch. Ball and a strike. Nobody out. We're in the bottom half of the 3rd. Hewlett, with that base hit, extended his modest hitting streak to 6 games in a row. And Clemens goes after him but doesn't get him. Clemens has allowed 2 base hits and 7 at-bats to Ozzie Guillen. There goes Hewlett, and it's fouled away to the luxury section off to our left. Clemens has allowed only 32 leadoff hitters to reach base in his first 130 innings pitched, or 162. He had pitched 162 innings coming into this. And tonight, 2 out of 3 leadoff hitters have been on. Keep that leadoff man off base. Take a lot of pressure off yourself if you're a pitcher. Guillen fouls another one away, so Guillen now, like Hewlett a moment ago, stands in there and fouls him off. And to the first baseman, Buckner. They've got Hewlett at second, but no chance for the double play. And that time, he almost had a little dangerous situation down there at first base. Now you watch it again on the replay, and you see a tough situation right there.
Well, Buckner, number 1, gave Romero a bad throw. He got it off to the left of Romero. Now he has to go back one-handed. You see Clemens going down to the round to get out of the way of Buckner, coming back to the bag, but neither one would have had a chance at Guillen.
A 3-6 force play, and you don't like to see your ace pitcher over there be fooling around, almost running into your first baseman or getting hit with a throw back from the shortstop. 1 out, Guillen becomes the base runner, and Julio Cruz the batter. The Cruiser is hitting .234, no home runs, and 15 runs batted in, 0 for 2 in the series. Ball 1 to him. Julio Cruz has not had a base hit in his last 3 ball games, going 0 for 8. Got a couple of walks in last night's contest. Again, diving back. No time held at Guillen's request for a moment. Cruz steps away. There he goes, pitch out, and they got him easily. That could be a strike to Cruz, but it is not called. He stuck the bat out there trying to protect his base runner on the pitch out.
Well, there you see it again. He just, actually, Julio, what he should have done, if it's a hit and run, you got to throw your bat at the ball. Now, again, going down there full bore, and Romero just waiting for him. Ozzie couldn't do anything about it.
So there are 2 down, and a count of 2 balls and a strike. That'll make it 3-1. On deck hitter is John Cangelosi. Three and 2. Out of play. That'll make the mezzanine section off to our left. Boston is leading 1-0 here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Updating Detroit at Cleveland, 1-0 Tigers in the bottom of the 4th. And a walk to Cruz. The first base on balls tonight by Clemens, and only the 40th man he has walked in 165 innings this year. 2 or fewer walks issued in 14 of his 20 starts this season. and another plus to Mr. Clemens. Super control. Cangelosi bounced back to the pitcher his first trip. And the drag bunt. That's got a chance and is a base hit, and Cangelosi stumbles, but he's all right.
Now, there was a good bunt by Cangelosi that time. He got it by the pitcher, and that's what he had to do. Roger Clemens, an excellent fielding pitcher. He got off there in a hurry, but it was by him. Now, Dave Stapleton just about makes a great play. If he can come up with that ball, that's the only way that he can play it. It's do or die. And Cangelosi almost got caught on that long stride at first base as he went tumbling across the bag. But he's okay.
Well, there it is. There's the bunt motion by Cangelosi. You saw him just cradle that bat and drag the ball past the pitcher. So you got Cruz at second, Cangelosi at first. And Steve Lyons, the batter. Lyons grounded out to the first baseman, Buckner, his first time up. On the inside part of the plate, strike one. Boston leads 1-0. Sox have a base runner as far as second for the first time tonight. Nothing in two. Well, Steve Lyons trying to come back against his former teammates. Runners at first and second. Pretty good speed with Cruz at second, Cangelosi at first. And not bad speed at the plate either in Steve Lyons. Now he wants time. Although Roger Clemens was the Red Sox first pick in the June '83 draft, there were 18 people drafted ahead of him that year. One and two to Lyons. On deck, Harold Baines. Check swing in time, and the count will be 2-2.
Well, you could see Lyons wanted that pitch.
Clemens wanted it.
I should say Lemons wanted
yes,
it.
Yes, he did.
Say.
He thought he had it over the outside.
Yes,
corner.
he did. Been working Lyons inside for the curveball, then the fastball. And that's the first one they moved away, and he just missed.
Three and two. So the runners will be going. John McNamara, the manager of the Boston Red Sox. Runners go, and he struck him out. First strikeout of the ball game for Clemens. At the end of three, it's Boston 1 and Chicago nothing.
Edge. In name brand sporting goods, the Sport Mart Edge. With the biggest selection and professional advice, the Edge. With low prices every day, Sport Mart gives you the edge.
Tennis is for every man at Sport Mart. Brooks Super Fitting Boca tennis shoe is only $22.87, a real Sport Mart value. Brooks Napa leather court shoe with the support that's built to last. Shop Sport Mart and save now.
For sports, it's Sport Mart.
Lots of people going to Florida choose a rent-a-car company by comparing rates.
Hello, what's your rate? Uh-huh. What's your rate? Yeah, what's your rate?
But these days, everyone offers low rates in Florida, so it pays to compare services.
What do you get for that? Uh-huh. What do you get? What do you get?
Hertz offers computerized driving directions, 24-hour road service, and there's never a drop-off charge in Florida. So come to Hertz. The services add up, but your bill won't. Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
If you haven't seen your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer for a deal on a Laser or GTS, you better hurry.
Right now, get the GTS with 5.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back. Or the Laser with 8.5% or $500 cash back.
And they're covered by Chrysler's 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. This is your best chance to get a special price on Chrysler Pride and Performance. But hurry.
Richmond Motor Sales on Main Street in Richmond.
Well, most baseball fans have probably dreamed of playing against stars like Minoso, Pierce, or Skowron. Your dreams can become reality at the second annual White Sox Rodman and Renshaw Fantasy Camp and Investment Seminar. That is next February 1 to 8. You can attend a week-long baseball fantasy camp in Sarasota, plus receive up-to-date investment information from the experts at Rodman and Renshaw. For more information, call 924-1000.
Billy Buckner will lead off the 4th inning for Boston. Buckner drove in a run with a ground out in the 1st inning. Strike 1. Buckner's 56th RBI of the year. And that's the only run scored tonight. The Red Sox 1 run, 1 hit. The White Sox no runs on 3 hits. No balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck batter is Jim Rice. Toronto and Kansas City scoreless in the 2nd. Seattle leads Minnesota 1-0 after 1 inning. Struck him out. This dropped it, had to tag him.
Now we'll take a look at that last pitch by De Leon. There's that split finger fastball. Down, and Buckner can't make contact.
Jim Rice lined out on a check swing. Julio Cruz making the catch in the 1st inning. Ball 1. Threw it by him. A ball and a strike. I don't know who developed the split finger fastball, Don, but I guess Roger Craig is credited with spreading the word around about it, teaching it to so many pitchers.
Yeah, I think Roger probably, well, it's been around for a while. It's an old forked ball or things like that, and they've kind of just moved it around, called it a different name.
Liner right again, and that time De Leon got by with a pitch.
And I think Roger has probably been the one that maybe just brought it out of the shell a little bit more when he was a pitching coach over at Detroit with Jack Morris and Ron Petrie in particular.
Don Baylor will stand in. Baylor walked leading off the 2nd. Ball 1. De Leon has walked 1, struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 1 hit, and he has also thrown a wild pitch. That one is gone. Don Baylor has just hit his 19th home run of the year, and the Red Sox go out in front 2-0.
Now, he didn't miss it. Got a fastball up over the plate, and he'd just been sitting on it, and you just don't keep throwing Don Baylor fastballs because he will do just exactly what he did. There's a look at it again.
Well, he didn't have that one timed perfectly, didn't he? Opens up the hips, and that ball a shot into the seats in left. Baylor ties Evans for the team lead in RBIs with 64. And here is Evans taking a breaking pitch high, ball one. Two balls and no strikes. Evans struck out in the second. Popped him up left side. Hewlett is after it, but he runs out of room. And wind picked up a little bit since we showed you the flags out there to start the game, I do believe. And that could have had a little effect on that ball. So Evans stays alive with a count 2-1. Two balls, two strikes. Tony Armas awaiting his turn. Ball count 3-2.
Oh, that's a close pitch right there.
I tell you, it's been sort of a small strike zone for both pitchers tonight. Clemens had one he wanted in the last inning, and De Leon wanted that one. Fisk measuring it, moving into position, and that will retire the side. Armas will lead off the fifth. We're in the middle of the fourth, and Boston now leads 2-0.
Coming this fall, Sports Vision will once again bring you complete coverage of Chicago's winners on cable. The Sox will look to finish strong with home and home series against their division rivals. Then put on your skates and get ready for action with exclusive live coverage of the Blackhawks as they begin a new season. And the fall also marks the return of a high-flying and healthy Michael Jordan as the Bulls look to rebound to the top of the Midwest Division. And for quickness and agility of foot, tune in to the Chicago Sting as they resume MISL action. Weekly live college football will return with nationally ranked schools from coast to coast and exclusive local coverage of Northern Illinois. And you'll hear it straight from the source when Sports Vision brings you the Controlling Forces with several dynamic coaches shows, and the Army Football Report will return. But there's plenty more, including college basketball, highlighting the national powerhouses, and exclusive volleyball, soccer, and basketball featuring the Northern Illinois Huskies. So look forward to fall with Sports Vision, bringing you Chicago's winners on cable all season long.
Well, on Friday, August 15th, that will be WMAQ Radio White Sox Umbrella Night. And the first 15,000 ladies 15 and over who attend the game, that'll be with the Brewers. They'll get a free White Sox umbrella, compliments of WMAQ Radio. For tickets, call 559-1212. Use your charge card or stop by the ballpark.
We go to the bottom half of the fourth with Harold Baines, Greg Walker, and Ron Hasse scheduled up for the Chicago White Sox. Well, Hasse, the newcomer, will be up in this inning. You know, the Sox have made 6 roster changes since July 22nd. That's only last Tuesday. 8 players that were on the opening day roster are no longer with the Sox organization, or else they're in the minor leagues. We'll show you who they are very shortly. And Baines loops one out into center, and that's in for the base hit. Armas plays the ball on the roll. And for the third inning in a row, the Sox have the leadoff man on. So far, they've been able to get only one runner, though, as far as second base. Base hit number 4 off Clemens. Got to do something different. Walker led off the second with a single. Hasse grounded into a double play. Hewlett led off the third with a single. He was forced by Guillen, and then Guillen was caught stealing. Line drive to center. Armas coming on and traps the ball. The ball is in play. Throw into second base, not in time. Baines moves up, and Walker has his second hit of the night.
Well, this ball hit hard. Armas gives it an excellent try, a good effort, but he just couldn't get there in time. You see that short hop, and then fortunately he keeps it in front of him and into the glove.
I'll tell you, if that ball had gotten by him, Baines would have had an excellent chance to circle the bases from first. But Armas, you saw, short hop the ball. Even though he fell down, he held on to it. So back-to-back singles, runners at first and second, and Ron Hasse, the batter, hit into a double play started by the shortstop Romero his first time up. Very weak grounder. Ball one. And Clemens wondering where that pitch might have been. He's thrown 50 pitches so far. Clemens' shortest outing of the year, covered 5 innings plus against Oakland. A game in which he gave up 5 earned runs on 7 base hits. He is behind 2-0 to Hasse. Baines at second, Walker at first. There's not a whole lot of speed involved, either on the bases or at the plate. This should be 2. For the second time tonight, Hasse grounds into a double play. Baines will go to third, and there are 2 outs.
Now Ron just has the ball in on him a little bit, and just an easy routine ground ball to Stapleton. And of course, you know, fans are a little upset with the boos, but if they know Ron Hasse and if hits the ball on the ground, it's going to be a good double play man. Ron's going to try and hit the ball in the air if he possibly can in that spot, but he just couldn't do it.
Now the guy out there that is serving that ball up toward home plate has a little bit to say about that.
He's got a whole bunch to say about it.
Location of his pitches. After all, he is a 17-game winner. Here's Fisk. In the air, right center field on the run, Armas. He'll be there. And he's got it as Evans almost ran in front of him. No runs, 2 base hits, only 1 left, end of 4. Boston leads it 1-0.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Anheuser-Busch is the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family of beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Somebody still cares about quality. Anheuser-Busch.
The Carnival is coming to town. The Carnival of Values circular from True Value hardware stores. In it, you'll find this General Electric 40-watt fluorescent lamp for just $1.29. And the 22-foot roll of 3M press-in-place caulk for only $2.99, less a $2 mail-in rebate. True Test Professional Glass Cleaner is just 98 cents a quart, and this True Test 4-inch paintbrush is only $4.77 in the Carnival of Value circular from most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Well, we got them for you. Saturday night fireworks following the 6 o'clock Sox game against the Detroit Tigers. Fireworks show sponsored by Kool-Aid. For tickets, call 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office. Our next fireworks night this Saturday. Ball game will start at 6 with Detroit, and then Kool-Aid will light up the sky for you right after the ball game here at Comiskey. The sky's going to be a little darker than it is right now. We'll go to the 5th inning with Boston leading by a score of 2-0. Red Sox 2 runs on 2 hits, and the White Sox no runs on 5 hits. And with Armas up, it's back to Don Drysdale.
All right, Frank, it'll be Armas, Gedman, and Stapleton in that order. Armas, his first time at bat. Pop to Cruz at second. De Leon's curveball a little bit outside, and the count 1-0. Been an exceptionally small strike zone tonight for Tim Teixeira as you look at Johnny McNamara, skipper for the Red Sox. 1-1 the count. Timmy Hillett at third. No Walker in time. No one out, and that will bring on Rich Gedman.
Well, we'll take a look at it again. Hewlett going toward the line. Comes up with it. Sets, makes a strong throw across to Greg Walker. And Armas is retired.
Gedman is flying to right. Hitting .259, 8 home runs, 39 RBI starting tonight. He's in a 2 for 21 streak. That'll be a base hit in the alley. Harold Baines will get it back in. And it's hit number 3 for the Red Sox. And it'll bring on Dave Stapleton. Stapleton popped to Hewlett at third. Now time called as Gedman wants to talk to Walt Reniak, his first base coach. Inside, the count 1-0. Driving Stapleton out of the way. And the breaking pitch in and over. A ball and a strike to Stapleton, who starts tonight at just 176. Has really not seen a lot of action with the Red Sox. Gedman a very safe lead at first. That's low, the count 2-1. Stapleton's only been in 20 ball games prior to tonight, has been at bat just 17 times. As you look at Ed Romero, the shortstop and leadoff hitter on deck. The Red Sox, well, they have been cleaning up fairly well on the West. There's a fastball for the strike in the count, 2-2. Starting tonight, a record of 37-24 against Western Division competition. They are 5-1 against Minnesota, 6-2 against the White Sox. They're 7-5 against Oakland, 8-4 against Seattle, 4-2 against Texas, so they got to face them a few more times. The 2-2 pitch. Throws his bat and can't make contact.
Now the bat was fair.
Right over the bag.
Went right over the bag, landed in foul territory, but it was fair.
Well, you see right there the Red Sox among the American League leaders in doubles. Second spot, Rice with 29, Boggs with 27. Buckner tied for fourth with 26, and Marty Barrett with 24.
I think that green monster at Fenway has a little bit to do with that.
Oh, I would say so. They lead the league with 203 doubles. That'll project out to 329 for the year. And of course, the major league record for doubles in a season is 358, held by the Cleveland Indians in 1930, and that was back in the 154 game schedule.
That was also back when that Cleveland ballpark had those very, very, very deep fences.
Very deep is right. Romero takes his strike in the count, 1-1. Mattingly leading in doubles with 35. Then, as I mentioned, Rice, Boggs, Buckner, Ripken with 26, Henderson with 26, and a couple players tied at 25. Outside to count, 2-1.
Harold Baines leads the White Sox in 2 base hits. He has 21 for the year.
Off the hands, Zazikian will give to Cruz. They get to force at second base, and the side is retired. So the Red Sox are gone in the 5th inning. No runs on a hit, no errors. They leave one. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Boston.
Kill the mating call, Dwayne?
Daryl, are you sure all this will attract the Loch Ness Monster?
Of course. Once he gets close enough, we spring the catapult net. Then we make our fortune. There'll be books, movies, sequels to movies. We'll make millions. Dwayne, I told you not to blow the horn.
I didn't.
Quick, the net.
There's an easier way to net millions. Play Lotto.
Time's running out on the deals at Toyota.
July is jumping. Toyota's jumping.
There's only a few more days left for incredible deals on the biggest selection of Toyota cars ever, including Tercels, Toyota's lowest priced car. Only a few more days to take advantage of factory to dealer incentives on the biggest selection of Toyota trucks ever. So jump on in before time runs out.
The deals are clicking, but the clock is ticking because July is jumping.
Nobody else does it. Nobody makes $6.95 a yard look smaller than Empire, because we make no extra charge for padding, no extra charge for installation. When we say from $6.95 a yard, that includes everything, even a free Bissell shampoo or Zoom broom sweeper with any order. If you're squeezed for cash, you can get 60 days to make a payment. And if you're pressed for time, Empire can deliver in 1 day.
588-2300 Empire.
Jump up and call us right now.
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sportsvision by the Chicago White Sox solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sportsvision is prohibited. A sort of a strange ball game, the Cubs and the Mets in New York, and he's not playing any favorites right there, is he? Man of many hats. Sid Fernandez, pitching for the New York Mets, has struck out 11 Cubs in the first 5 innings. The Cubs are leading, though, by a score of, 4-1 in the bottom half of the 5th. The first 9 outs the Cubs made were on strikeouts. but still they have a 4-1 lead over the New York Mets. I think that's sort of a strange ball game, Don.
That is definitely a strange game. A little something else unusual as Timmy Hewlett stands in. He'll be followed by Guillen and Cruz, bottom three in the order. When you look at the departmental leaders in the American League, in the power department, in the hitting department, it's interesting to the point that the Red Sox register really in just a few of them. Of course, they have Boggs leading the league with 345. That's low, 1-1 to count. Rice at 333. Then in home runs, they don't have anybody. In the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Starting from Barfield to Herbeck, Canseco, Pagliarulo, Bell, Kingman, and Parrish. Runs batted in, they do not have anybody. Canseco, Bell, Joyner, Barfield, Mattingly, Herbeck, and Presley. In total bases, they do not have anybody. In Puckett, Mattingly, Bell, Barfield, Joyner, Carter, and Henderson. Now in hits, Rice is 5th. That's fouled out of play. Evans over to take a peek, and they count 2-2. There's Brian Giles, one of the new Sox players, just called up from Buffalo. Brian seen major league action with the Brewers of Milwaukee. But in the hit department, Mattingly leading with 146, Puckett 145, then Fernandez, Bell, Rice, Joyner, and Carter. In runs scored, they don't have anybody. That's fouled out of play. Henderson, Puckett, Mattingly, Phillips, McDowell, Bell, and Herbeck in that order, starting with Henderson at 94. Stolen bases, they have nobody. They only have 24 as a team. Triples, they have nobody. Greg Walker, 6, with Butler leading the league with 8. 3-2 the count. Doubles, yes, as we mentioned before, Mattingly leading with 35, then Rice, Boggs, and Buckner, followed by Ripken and Henderson. On base percentage, they have 1. Wade Boggs at 449. That's out of play. The count remains full at 3-2. Slugging percentage, nobody. So in essence, it's really been kind of an interesting year for the Red Sox. The game-winning RBIs, yes, Don Baylor leading the league with 11. Then Ernie Riles with Milwaukee at 10. Bell of Toronto 10. Lynn, Baltimore 10. Ripken, Baltimore 10. Joyner, California 10. 3-2 pitch. There's a little looper in the right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Timmy Hewlett fighting Clemens hard. And he has his second hit of the night.
Well, Don, 4 innings in a row now. The White Sox have had their leadoff man on, but have only had 1 man as far as third base. Nobody across the plate.
Well, you might see Jim Fregosi try and do something here. He did the last time that Hewlett led off with a single. He had hit and run with Guillen on at least 1 pitch. But now when you get into this order with Hewlett, Guillen, Cruz, Cangelosi line, now here's where you've got to make something happen. To sit there and trade blow for blow with a heavyweight, it's awfully hard. There's a strike to Guillen. Little delayed call by Tim Teixeira. See right there the number of pitches per inning. Third inning, the most. Guillen doesn't care for that call. Fregosi yelling out of the White Sox dugout at Teixeira. Out of play, the count 0-2. See the flags on top of the roof. Very slight breeze. It's just a great night here at the ballpark and an excellent crowd on hand. See the Boston Red Sox in town for the final trip of the year, and the folks coming out to look at, well, probably right now the best pitcher in baseball, Roger Clemens. That fastball inside. Told you, Clemens, he won't back off from doing that. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lesson well learned for some pitchers on both sides looking at that young man pitch.
Well, we'll take another look at it. It's inside. It's not really right at him, but it's inside. As Clemens says, I want half the home plate. See what he does here, Don.
Going away from him.
Yep. At least Gedman wanted him to go away. He came back in a little bit over the plate.
So the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Well, that's what good velocity can do. You can make a mistake every now and then and get away with it. Curveball to the hole. Diving Stapleton. He'll not be able to hold on to it. And a base hit for Guillen, and that'll bring on Julio Cruz. Well, the White Sox have out-hit Boston 7-3, but the Red Sox on top 2-0.
Well, here it is again, an off-speed pitch, and he hangs it up there for Ozzie, who bounces it past Buckner. Stapleton knocks the ball down with a diving attempt, and then it kicks away from him, so no chance of a play. And a base hit for Ozzie Guillen. The Sox have their 7th hit of the ball game, but still have not been able to score.
Well, here's Julio Cruz, and you got to have an idea what he's going to do. At least the Red Sox are thinking bunt. Buckner up on the grass, Boggs up on the grass. Nobody out, runners at first and second. The tying runs aboard. Cangelosi on deck. Bunt third base side. Clemens over, boots the ball and kicks it. Everybody's safe. I don't know whether they would have had Cruz.
Well, Cruz had the right idea. He wanted Boggs to field that ball, but it worked out better than anybody anticipated. There it is as he pushes it down the third base line. He wants the third baseman to come in and field it, but you see Clemens boot the ball and actually did kick it across the foul line. Here it is on another angle. Boggs has gone back to cover third, and right there he really actually kicks the ball with his right foot. You can see the kick better right there as he kicks it across the foul line. And I didn't see how they ruled.
Base hit.
Base hit. All right, that's a good scoring ruling right there. I'm like you, Don. I don't think he had a chance to get him. Excellent bunt by the cruiser, and the bases are loaded. Base hit number 8 for Chicago.
And Johnny McNamara watching the goings-on. Here's John Cangelosi. Here's where the White Sox have been in a position over their little streak over the last couple of weeks. As you look at Sammy Stewart in the bullpen, they have not been able to get the timely hit, the big hit, to get a big inning going. There's a bouncer, and they're going to be able to get one. They go back to second, and that's all. The run scores 2-1 Boston. Hewlett scoring. Moving to third is Guillen. Cruz out 4-6. Cangelosi with an RBI.
Well, take another look at it. The ball is weakly hit. And, well, it was weakly hit because they keep out of the double play. The only play is back to second base as Stapleton shovels the ball to Romero. No chance for anybody else as Hewlett comes across the plate. And the White Sox are on the scoreboard, and Cangelosi has his 22nd run batted in of the year.
Now it'll be interesting to keep an eye on Cangelosi at first base. John with 41 stolen bases. And even though you do have the left-hand hitting Lyons at the plate, we'll see what Jim Fregosi wants to do.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Cangelosi running, keep away from the double play, get another man in scoring position. Boy, he was going.
He was going. He started to move. And now Lyons wants to talk with Doug Rader. And here's the proper thing to do. When in doubt, just call time and go ahead and talk to that third base coach. There you see Cangelosi 41 of 51 in that stolen base department. That is second to Ricky Henderson in the American League. Guillen at third. He's the tying run. 2-1 Boston. It's a 41 steal. That is more than the Red Sox have in total. Jim Fregosi looking on. The Red Sox have 24. Fastball for the strike, and the count is 0-1. The thing is, right here, if Cangelosi is going to go, and this has been a little bit of the dilemma that Jim Fregosi's been in with Cangelosi and even Lyons over in Baltimore. He will give him the green light, but he wants him to go early. In other words, you really can't, if you're going to go and you're given the green light, what the manager would like you to do is go within the first couple of pitches. You start waiting 3 or 4 pitches and that hitter starts taking some pitches at home plate, he can't take too many before he puts himself in a hole. There he goes. And the throw is not in time. Bounces away from Romero. And the count 0-2 to Lyons. And now all he has to do is make some contact.
Well, there you saw Lyons protecting Cangelosi with a swing. He swung at a pitch, high fastball out of the strike zone, trying to protect his base runner. Right there. He swung at a pitch well out of the strike zone. And a little better throw and a little better move right there by Romero. They might have had him. You see Romero trying to slap a tag on him before he catches the baseball. He came down just too quick.
Now the count is 0-2. Up high, the count 1-2 with Harold Baines on deck. Cangelosi with his 42nd stolen base of the year. Guillen remaining at third. The infield is back. They will give up the run for the out as the Red Sox lead it 2-1. That's fouled away. So the count remains at 1-2 strikes.
How do you feel, Don? Do you like the infield back in a situation like this, or do you like to see him come up and try to cut that run down or hold that runner at third?
Not as the visiting club, Frank. I would rather see the infield back. They come in right here, and then all of a sudden you get one nub through and you're down 3-2. A home club, at times you can come in early in the ball game, I think, with the count and who the hitter is and how many outs. Inside, 2-2 the count. There will be some managers who might take a gamble, maybe bring the left side in or something like that. But on the road, it makes you think just a little bit differently if you're the home manager or the visiting manager. That's the center field. That should score the run. Armas getting in position. Guillen tagging. Here he comes. Here comes a throw. He is there. We're tied at 2, and Cangelosi goes to third. A very dangerous slide by Ozzie Guillen. He could have really been hurt. But he just got around Rich Gedman.
Well, we'll take another look at it. Armas will come on to get a little momentum behind his throw right there. Gets it out of the glove quickly, and a strong throw. One bounce to Gedman, and there's that very awkward slide. Guillen tagging up, coming down. And you don't like that slide at all. You're right, Don. He could have been hurt on that. I don't like that head-first slide coming across the plate anyway.
Not when that catcher's putting that left leg in there to block it, you don't.
No, sir.
And really, as you say, not ever, Frank. Here's Harold Baines with a count 1-0. Cangelosi at third. We're tied at 2. The change and a good one, nicely thrown, catching that outside corner. See right there, Clemens 10-0 with a 2.13 ERA in games after a Boston loss. Well, they lost last night. And here's Clemens tonight, finds himself in a 2-2 tie. Greg Walker on deck. 2-1 the count. Harold singled his last time at bat. Clemens kind of walking around taking a little extra time. I don't know whether... No, he's okay. Hit to Buckner, and he will give it to Clemens. Wide throw, but he stayed. No, he missed the bag. And the run scores. And there goes Clemens. He is gone. Greg Cross kicks him out. We are going to have something here. Said he missed the bag.
Well, Clemens is really barking. He knows in his own mind, he feels in his own mind that he did touch the bag with his foot. But Kosk says no. And the run will score, and the White Sox are out in front 3-2. There's not a whole lot Johnny McNamara can do right there, except get his pitcher out of the argument. Kosk will not throw Clemens out of the ballgame.
I think he already has thrown him out.
I didn't think he did.
I thought he threw him out right at the very start when he jumped up and said something to him.
Well, maybe he did. I thought on a play like that, he'd let him have a lot of leeway before he even thought about throwing him out.
Boy, I'll tell you, he is hot.
Well, maybe he has been tossed. I really didn't see it. Now, the way Clemens is going after Kosk, he has been thrown out. No question about it now.
You're exactly right. Boy, I'll tell you, and he is getting Greg Kosk told. I'll guarantee you that.
Well, he'll let Garcia have a few choice words, too. Garcia is trying to calm him down. Garcia, the chief of this umpiring crew. Boy, that is a tremendous, well, it should be a tremendously big break for the White Sox. Not only do they take the lead, but the Boston pitcher now thrown out of the game. Let's look at it again, Don, and see what we can see. Buckner fields the ball. And the underhand toss. Now, did he get the bag or not? It looks to me like he's got the bag. And now, Rice is having to physically restrain Clemens. Look at Rice. Just picks him up and carries him away, and Baylor gets a hold of him.
You got Rice and Baylor. Boy, and I'll tell you, that Clemens, he is hot. I don't believe Clemens realized he was kicked out of the game. And now the umpire's going over there now with the other Red Sox players, and we'll see who else gets kicked out. Richie Garcia. He is trying to get order. He is the crew chief. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It looked as though he has an excellent beef. There is a Nipper from last night.
Yeah, I think Nipper has been thrown out, too.
Marty Barrett, he's over there. Don Baylor trying to keep a little peace. They're trying to keep guys from getting suspended. And Johnny McNamara is not through yet. He has been too quiet the way things have been going on.
Yep.
Because this is not Johnny McNamara's style, I'll tell you, Frankie. Because that Irish is going to get up here in a second. But boy, I'll tell you one thing. It looked like Roger Clemens had an excellent beef. It looks like he caught the inside part of the bag.
Well, I thought he did. I really thought he did as I looked at the replay.
I'd like to go back and look at that again.
Well, I'm sure that we will before all this is over with. We're getting it set up again down in the...
Let's look at two things when we go back to the replay. Let's see if we can look at the position of the umpire and look at the position, of course, of Clemens' foot. But basically, the position of the umpire. There we go. Buckner with the lead. Watch the right foot. Oh, it looks like he's got that inside the bag. I don't know. All you can see is the shadow of Greg Kosk over on the other side. He's saying from the back here, and there's where Clemens saying that he got it. And there he goes. There's just a little slight bump, and there goes Kosk.
Well, that's automatic. I didn't realize that he bumped him there, Don, and that is automatic. Let's look at it. Another angle. Well, it's hard to tell from that angle whether he got it or not, but there is Kosk over on the other side of the bag where he is not really in good position to see the play.
Well, the thing that fooled him right there, watch the right toe of Clemens. Now, you can catch that bag very easily on the inside. Roger flipping that right toe up a little bit, and that might have fooled Kosk right there, thought that he was trying to catch it going by.
Well, now, Clemens looking back down there did not help his own cause. Now he's going over there trying to show him. And right here is the bump. There's the bump, and that's automatic. You're out of here.
Well, anyway, the run scores. The White Sox are on top 3-2. It'll be an error on Clemens, and the Red Sox are going to have to go to the bullpen. Boy, I'll guarantee you one thing. You know, I don't think there's anything worse in the world than to be told that you did something and you know you didn't do it. You know, Frank? I think that's what got Roger really hot right here. He was told that he didn't touch the bag, and in his own mind he knew he did, because plays are going to be missed. There's no question about that. But in crucial situations, that sometimes gets, and there's a young man who's a competitor, no question.
Now, you have to wonder about the second incident down there when we were watching the replay. Exactly what Clemens did before Rice and Baylor got hold of him and dragged him away. Shortest outing of the season for Clemens. But what now? It'll all depend on the report turned in by Kosk and the umpires. I don't know whether Clemens bumped Kosk again or put a hand on him again or not before Baylor and Rice grabbed hold of him. But for his teammates to grab him and forcibly draw him away, you know he was trying to make contact.
Well, I think one of the umpires might have said something while he was going away. And that's when he kind of flipped out a little bit, and it took two men right there, Rice and Baylor, if you're going to get held back. But I'll tell you, it took both of them to hold that big Texan back. Man, was a defensive end out there at Texas, wasn't he?
I don't know what he did in football. I know he's a transplanted Texan. He was born in Dayton, Ohio.
Right.
And went to school, of course, in Texas and the University of Texas, where he led them to a great season as a pitcher. But I don't know whether he played football there or not, Don, to be honest with you. Now you got Garcia over to McNamara, explaining the situation to him.
Now Sammy Stewart will have all of the time that he needs to warm up.
Well, Stewart had been thrown out in the bullpen, so he should be ready pretty soon.
I'm surprised at Mac. I thought Mac he'd just get calming down a little bit. But I'll tell you one thing. If I got to do the same thing. Look at it again. You call it, Frank.
All right, there's Buckner's toss. Clemens takes it, and right there, it just looks to me like he gets the bag. But see, he is looking back down at it now as Kosk has made the safe call. And right here is the bump that gets him thrown out of the game as he comes right into Kosk there. And it just went on from there. Meanwhile, Sammy Stewart from down in my part of the country, down from the hills of North Carolina. There's a big hillbilly for you. Sammy with a record of 3 wins and 1 loss and a 1.91 earned run average. Now Nipper's been tossed out of the ball game as he is barking at Kosk. That is Al Nipper right there. And McNamara is trying to calm him down. And Kosk just folds his arms and listens after he has tossed Nipper out of the game. Now who's going to go next?
McNamara's going to tell him, go on down there before anything else happens, and then you get suspended. You can't afford, Red Sox, they can't afford any more to lose any more pitchers. In the meantime, the White Sox watch the goings-on, and they're going to have to ask for a little extra warm-up pitches for Jose De Leon when they go out in the 6th inning. This has been a long inning, and I'm sure that that's exactly what the umpires will do.
Well, I'm going to be anxious to see if they really do now.
Well, yeah, you'll liable to see somebody ejected on that White Sox side as Greg Walker fouls the first pitch back. They count 0-1. Yeah, I would say they would. First of all, because of Stewart coming in and getting as many pitches that he needs to warm up. They will let De Leon take some extra warm-up tosses. Now that'll be an error, an unearned run, and the White Sox on top 3-2.
And the error is going to be charged to the pitcher.
Oh boy, that just adds insult to injury as that pitch is outside to count 1-1. But it appeared, that's one of the things, a lot of umpires will look for that pitcher to step on the bag. And you know, a lot of times, I know myself, I didn't like to step on the bag. I like to step along the side, the inside of the bag, and slide up against it. You don't want that foot up there stepping in the middle of that bag or something like that at times with that runner close behind. You want it on the inside of the bag or right next to it. And if they don't see it and they're out of position, it's tough luck at times. Jimmy Rice will handle that. And that will do it. The White Sox are gone, but they pick up 3 runs. 3 hits, 1 very big error. They leave a man, and we're through 5. The White Sox lead it 3-2.
The night has a beat of its own, a feel of its own, a beer of its own. Exceptionally smooth Michelob. It could make tonight the best part of your day.
If you haven't seen your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer for a deal on a Laser or GTS, you better hurry.
Right now, get the GTS with 5.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back. Or the Laser with 8.5% or $500 cash back.
And they're covered by Chrysler's 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. This is your best chance to get a special price on Chrysler Pride and Performance. But hurry.
Lake County Chrysler Plymouth, 540 Green Bay in Waukegan.
I was really happy when I heard I was coming to Chicago because the White Sox have the best promotions in baseball. There's sunglasses, fireworks, barbecue aprons, beach towels, and now, corduroy cap day. It's free, courtesy of Ace Hardware, to every fan who attends the Sox-Tigers game Sunday, August 3rd at Comiskey Park. And we're still looking forward to Umbrella Day, Mug Night, Gym Bag Day, more fireworks.
Corduroy Cap Day, Sunday, August 3rd, sponsored by Ace Hardware.
Well, there's the line score to this stage of the game. The White Sox 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And the Red Sox 2 runs, 3 hits, and the 1 error that allowed the Chicago White Sox to score the go-ahead run. Roger Clemens goes 4 2/3 innings, charged with 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 unearned. He gave up 8 base hits. He allowed 1 walk, and he struck out 1 batter in the ball game. And he is the pitcher of record, as we'll be going to the 6th inning as soon as De Leon has, as Don Drysdale told you, taken as many warm-up pitches as he feels he is necessary after the long delay in the bottom half of the 5th. So De Leon says he is ready, and the Red Sox will bring on Boggs, Buckner, and Rice as we go to the 6th. Don?
And it'll be Wade Boggs, 0 for 2 tonight to lead it off. Boggs has flied to left and bounces short. Well, De Leon now with a 3-2 lead. Top of the 6th inning. California defeated Oakland 6-2 this afternoon. Fastball for a strike, and the count is 0-1. The Cardinals leading Philly 5-3 in the 7th. Just outside, and the count 1-1. And Milwaukee shut out the Yankees 5-0. Johnny McNamara still saying something to Greg Kosk. Evidently just looks like just getting things squared away. 2-1. Line down the left field line, foul. And the count will go to 2-2. Minnesota leading Seattle 2-1. That's in the top of the 5th inning in Minneapolis, with Houston shutting out Atlanta 3-0 bottom of the 4th down in Texas. Two and two the count. And the breaking pitch up high, the count full at 3-2. And he walks him. Second walk by De Leon, who has now thrown 70 pitches, and it'll bring on Billy Buckner. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And we'll see if that bell rings in the White Sox bullpen.
Well, it could very well. De Leon, if I'm not mistaken, Don, pitching on 3 days rest since his last start down in Baltimore. This was Neil Allen's start, but his arm did not allow him to take the hill tonight.
On that outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Buckner checking with Rene Latchman as third base coach. Boggs aboard, 3-2 White Sox, top of the 6th. And the count 0-2. Dave Schmidt starting to throw. Hit to left field. Lyons is there. 1 out. Right now, let's go down to Arlington Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Baltimore and the Texas Rangers.
Well, that's Peter Incaviglia. A drive to deep center field, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer for Pete Incaviglia. He hit it off Boddicker, and Texas takes a 3-0 lead over Baltimore in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Well, with Texas leading Baltimore 3-0, we're back here live, and Jim Rice comes on. Rice has line to second, line to short. Takes inside to count 1-0. 1 out, Boggs at first. Top of the 6th inning, 3-2 White Sox. Two 2-0 the count.
Like Rice is pretty well on his way to his 4th straight 100 RBI season, Don. Even though he has not hit the long ball this year. The good batting average, and he has 62 RBIs.
Pops him up right side. Could be a play. Fisk over. Will be a play. 2 outs. And it'll bring on Don Baylor. Kansas City's taking a 1-0 lead over Toronto. They're in the top of the 5th inning at Royal Stadium. Here's Baylor, homered his last time at bat. Walked his first time at bat for Don, his 19th home run of the year, 64th RBI. Boggs remaining at first. And the count is 0-1.
Off the ticker, Don, the Sox AAA club in Buffalo has defeated the Cubs AAA club, Iowa, 5-4. Pete Filson won his 12th game of the season. He's 12-2 for the Buffalo Bisons.
Oh, 2 the count. There's Dwight Evans on deck. Now raining in New York with the Cubs on top of the Mets in the top of the 6th inning, 4-1. Well, that's an official game. Out of play. 0-2 the count. 8th inning, top of the 8th at Philly. Cardinals leading Philadelphia 5-3. Oh, Toronto ran out a 5 spot and they lead Kansas City 5-1. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, those Blue Jays, they're starting to play. Not starting, they have been playing. Got him. So Baylor down on strike. And the Red Sox are gone in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2 White Sox.
This week's sports. This week's Sports Vision Firestone Player of the Week is John Cangelosi. In a week that saw the Sox hit only .206 as a team, John provided his usual spark at the top of the lineup. The little guy batted .304 in 6 starts on the week, with hits in each of his last 5 games. The man known for his speed, John Cangelosi, the Sox man who makes things happen.
America's driving over. America's driving to Firestone.
This week only, save on a MasterCare wheel alignment, just $19.77. Or you can save on MasterCare front disc brake service, only $59.77. At Firestone, you can charge it. Come on, drive over to Firestone, Chicago's home for MasterCare car service. For the store nearest you, call 325-3152.
Follow the White Sox every week. It's Sox 86 Weekly, only on Sports Vision.
We're always hearing the words, let's party. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what that really means. If you're talking about getting drunk, losing control, and making an absolute fool out of yourself, well, that's one party I'll be happy to miss. You see, I'm proud of what I've done in my life so far. I've got a lot of goals I still want to achieve. I'm not going to waste my life on alcohol abuse, and you'll never catch me driving drunk. I've got too much at stake, and I know you can't be a hit when you're high.
Something to think about from the NCAA.
On Sunday, August 17th, before the White Sox play the Milwaukee Brewers here at Comiskey, the Equitable Old Timers game will be held. This game will match White Sox stars of the 70s, such as Bucky Dent, Bill Melton, and Ken Berry, against baseball greats of the 70s, including Frank Howard, Sudden Sam McDowell, and Al Oliver. The Equitable Old Timers game will begin at noon. Special thanks to the Palmer House, the official hotel for the 1986 Equitable Old Timers game. Don?
Here's Ron Hasse as he looks at the breaking pitch down low. 1-0 the count. It'll be Hasse, Fisk, and Hewlett here in the bottom of the 6th inning. White Sox on top 3-2. Outside in the count 2-0. Sammy Stewart coming off of some elbow problems. Big right-hander coming over from the Baltimore Orioles. That's low and away, and the count 3-0. Dave Schmidt continues to throw in the Sox bullpen. See where Billy Buckner's playing, out in the grass. Stapleton back at second. And there's a strike to Hasse, 3-1.
Well, Ron's not going to beat out too many infield hits.
No, won't do that, but he'll hit the long ball for you. Boy, I'll tell you, he had a good year here last year.
Boy, didn't he, though?
He's a member of the Yankees, and he draws a walk.
Well, the Chicago White Sox and Coca-Cola would like to invite you to be a part of the official White Sox fan club. That's the Chi Sox fan club. For just $10, you'll receive 2 free tickets to a White Sox regular season home game, invitations to all fan club sponsored events, and much, much more. For an application, stop by any Ace Hardware store in the Chicagoland area or call or write to Comiskey Park. A portion of the proceeds go to benefit Shy Sox kids and the fight against terminal illness in children.
Here's Carlton Fisk. 0 for 2 tonight. Takes a strike and the count is 0-1. Doesn't care for the call.
Well, if he lays down a bunt, it'll be the first time this year.
Bud trying to fight himself out of a 4 for 48 streak. And the count is 0-2. On deck, Timmy Hewlett. Off the end of the bat to right center. There's Evans. 1 out. And it'll bring on Timmy Hewlett, who's 2 for 2 tonight. Three runs, 8 hits, no errors for the White Sox. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. Hewlett with the 2 base hits tonight has extended his hitting streak to 6 games. He scored a run with Ozzie Guillen on deck. Montreal over Pittsburgh 3-2. That's a final. Oh, and 1 to Hewlett. Just a very gentle breeze. Really not much of a breeze at all, but you can feel just a little bit. The flags moving around just a shade on top of the roof in right field. There's a drive, deep left field, way back. This ball is gone. Timmy Hewlett, his 10th home run of the year, and the Sox lead it 5-2.
I will take another look at it. Hewlett drives the ball hard. His 10th home run of the year, makes good contact off Stewart. Drives the ball off the facing of the upper deck. And with Hewlett's home run, the Sox take a 5-0 lead, and our good friends at Busch Beer will be donating another $250 to the Shy Sox kids to help fight terminal illness in children. Chicago leads Boston now 5-2.
Ozzie Guillen takes low, and the count 1-0. Well, for Hewlett, his 10th home run of the year, the 2 RBIs gives him an even 30. Ozzie 1 for 2 with a run scored. That's outside. The count 2-0 with Julio Cruz on deck. Two and 1.
Only the 2nd home run given up by Stewart in 29 innings pitched this year.
And the count goes to 3-1. A full count, 3-2 to Guillen. Looper to left, coming on Rice, and he's going to have to play it on a hop. The Guillen's aboard. The second hit off of Stewart. And that will bring on Julio Cruz as the Sox will go to the bullpen again.
Well, Bill Fisher, their pitching coach, there on the phone. 10 hits in the ball game now for Chicago.
They'll keep Guillen close, who has his second two-hit night in a row. Had a pair last night. Cruz 1 for 1 tonight. He has walked and then with runners at first and second bunted up the third baseline, and it was ruled a base hit. There's Tim Lawler. That's low. The count 1-0.
Again, down there first on 3 of his 4 base hits in the 2 games have been infield hits. Both his hits last night were infield.
Sammy Stewart has appeared in 11 games prior to tonight, a 3-1 mark and a 1.91 ERA. He's worked in only 28 1/3 innings. That's low. The count 2-0.
Sammy Stewart's the one some years ago pitching down in Baltimore, Don. Greg Nettles was the hitter for the New York Yankees, and Stewart took the glove off his left hand, put it on his right hand, and started to pitch left-handed. And all of a sudden, Nettles realized what was going on, called time, stepped out. They made Stewart swing around and pitch
There
right
goes
way.
the runner. That's fouled away. Made him turn around, put it back on the right hand.
Yep.
Have you ever seen him throw left-handed?
No, I never have. I don't know whether he was really going to throw it or whether he was just fooling with Nettles, but he took the glove off, put his the glove from his left hand over onto the right hand and started his motion. And Nettles said, "Hey, wait a time out. What's going on out there?"
Runner goes again. It's bounced to Buckner. And he'll step on the bag as Guillen moves to second. And it'll bring on John Cangelosi.
And down there at second base, the shortstops union having a little meeting. Guillen and Romero talking things over.
And it'll bring on John Cangelosi. Well, we'd like to pass along some good well wishes to Sergio Cassiani, recovering from surgery. And of course, that Cassiani name is familiar with us up here in the booth. His son Harry drops a little pizza on us every now and then. So Sergio, we hope everything is fine. Cangelosi. Little check swing bouncer. Here comes Stapleton again. He has a little more time this time and gets him. So the side retired. The Sox pick up a pair of runs on Hewlett's 2-run homer. And through 6, the White Sox lead it by a score of 5-2.
You don't just brew a beer this good. You nurture it day and night. But we don't mind. Our nights make Michelob. And Michelob could make your night the best part of your day.
Cool off your summer with a hot deal at Toyota.
July is jumping. Toyota's jumping.
If you're looking for huge savings, now's the time to save on the biggest selection of Toyotas ever. Save on cars like Celicas and Camrys. Save on Tercels, Toyota's lowest price car. And with factory-to-dealer incentives, there are incredible savings on trucks. So jump on into your Toyota dealers now.
This is the spot to leave the hot because now July is jumping.
The exciting Chicago Blackhawks are on the warpath to recapture the Norris Division title in their 1986-87 season. You can help lead the Blackhawks ambush by reserving your 1986-87 Blackhawks season tickets. The best seats in Chicago Stadium are available now. Call 943-7000 and ask for season tickets, or write the Chicago Blackhawks at 666 North Lakeshore Drive, Chicago 60611. Plan now to be a part of the Blackhawks War Party.
Well, let's go down to Arlington Stadium once again and check that game with Baltimore and the Rangers. Jose Guzman pitching, and Cal Ripken Jr. deep in the left field seats, his 16th home run of the year. It is now Texas 3 and Baltimore 1. That is in the top of the 7th inning from Texas. And back here at Comiskey Park, Dave Schmidt comes on to take over the pitching chores as De Leon goes 6 strong innings as he will face Evans, Armisen, Gedman. And a reminder that this coming Sunday it'll be the Sox and the Tigers. Ace Hardware Stores present White Sox Corduroy Cap Day. All fans, and that's everybody coming to the game, they'll receive a free embroidered White Sox corduroy cap, compliments of Ace Hardware. And along with Frank Messer, I'm Don Drysdale, and happy that you've joined us tonight. The White Sox 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Red Sox 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. That is through the first 6. We go to the 7th, and back to call it for you. Here's Frank.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. And it'll be Dwight Evans, who has struck out and popped up to Fisk. 0 for 2. Evans, with 64 runs batted in, was leading the Red Sox until Baylor homered in the 4th for his 64th RBI. And Dave Schmidt. Ball 1. In his last 4 ball games, covering 9 innings, Schmidt has given up 4 earned runs and 14 base hits for an ERA of 4.0. He lost last Saturday in Baltimore in the 2-1 game. Ball out, a strike. Prior to that, he had a stretch of 5 scoreless outings covering 7 innings. Ball and 2 strikes. And the on-deck hitter is Tony Armas. So Dave Schmidt, the loser down in Baltimore Saturday in the 2-1 ball game, trying to save this one for Jose De Leon. Off the hands and loop to the shortstop gear. 1 away. We'll update all the scores of all the other ball games for you in both major leagues when we come back to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Tony Armas up. He has popped up to Cruz at 2nd and grounded out to Hewlett at 3rd. Chicago leads by a score of 5-2. Off the hands again. One hopper right back to Schmidt. The lob toss over to Walker. 2 down. And now Rich Gedman. Single to right center field in the 5th inning after he flied out to right field in the 2nd. 1 for 2. Foul ball. That'll go into the Boston dugout. Not as many people there now as there were when the game started. A couple have been thrown out, including the Red Sox starting pitcher, Roger Clemens, and also Al Nipper, thrown out off the bench. Both by first base umpire Greg Kosk. Almost hit him. In fact, it did hit him. Gedman is hit with the pitch, and he'll be waved down to first base by Tim Sheeta. We'll take another look at it. Right there it is, and he tries to get away, and it evidently just brushed him. Not an enough to deflect the flight of the baseball. It just must have brushed the uniform, which is awfully hard to do as tight as they wear those uniforms now. So Gedman hit with a pitch down to first, and Stapleton up takes a ball. Dave Stapleton 0 for 2 tonight. Popped up to Hewlett and struck out against De Leon. The White Sox are leading 5-2. Off the hands, popped up foul left side. That'll be in the seats. Fisk gives it a chase, but no chance. Schmidt has now hit 4 batters this year. Bob James has also nicked 4 hitters with pitches. 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike to Stapleton. Chicago leads 5-2. Boston had a 2-0 lead. The Sox went ahead with 3 runs in the 5th. The on-deck batter is Eddie Romero. And he's behind Stapleton now 3-1. You don't want to walk a guy who has popped up and struck out and who has been to bat only 19 times all year. You don't want to walk him. Full count, 3-2. So a payoff pitch will be coming down to Dave Stapleton. Bounces it to third, and Hewlett throws him out to retire the side. A runner is left on. We're in the middle of the 7th inning with the score, Chicago 5 and Boston 2.
Come as you are to Schaumburg Toyota's spectacular truck sale. The Midwest's largest volume Toyota dealer is out to sell 100 trucks, no matter what. 4-wheel drives, 2-wheel drives, sporty stripes, aggressive styling. From just $49.95, you may never buy a new Toyota truck for less. From only $49.95. Immediate delivery for Chicagoland's largest selection of new Toyota trucks and spectacular savings. See Schaumburg Toyota, 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota.
Hi, I'm Julio Cruz, second baseman for the Chicago White Sox. Every day, 8 children are born with cystic fibrosis, an incurable, fatal genetic disease. And every day, 5 children die from it. This year, the White Sox are providing a great way for you to help us fight cystic fibrosis. It's called the 65 Roses Club, and it's all based around how many home runs the Sox hit this season. The local CF chapter has all the details and can tell you how to join. But the bottom line is, we're going to raise some money and have some fun with our 65 Roses Club members. Cystic fibrosis kids are fighters. They have to be. But they are fighting something that still cannot be beaten. They're doing their best. They just cannot do it alone. Last year, the Sox knocked a lot of balls over the fence. We did it to win games. This year, we've got a better reason.
Well, we'll take a look at some of the scores for you. Around the American League this afternoon, final. Milwaukee defeated New York 5-0. Oakland defeated by California. The Angels 6-2 over the A's. 9-3 Detroit over Cleveland in the 8th. 5-1 the Blue Jays over the Royals in the 6th. 2-1 Seattle over Minnesota in the 5th. Texas leading Baltimore 3-1. And right there you see postponed rain, but the Cubs, it appears that they will win it if that's a postponed game. Well, let's see. They say the 5th. We see the 6th. We'll check on that some more. 3-2. As you saw the other scores, and out on the coast, San Francisco, L.A., Cincinnati, San Diego scoreless in the 1st, and Houston 3-0 over Atlanta. As Lawler comes on to take over the pitching duties, and indeed that is a complete game. 5 innings are in the books at Shea Stadium, so it is a complete game. As Lawler comes on, he takes over for Sammy Stewart. Stewart went an inning and a third. Lawler, left-hander, saw action last night. As Tim comes on, he makes his 26th appearance of the year, a record of 2-0 and a 5.50 ERA. Started just one game. He's worked in 36 innings, allowed 35 hits, 22 runs, all earned. He's given up 2 home runs. He has walked 29 and struck out 25. So right there, that can be a very, very big story. Walking 29 with 35 hits in 36 innings, and that surely, Frank, will equal 5.50 in ERA.
Yes, it sure will, and a lot of people on base. Lyons tries to bunt. And that's strike one on Steve Lyons. Lyons tonight has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. He has grounded out to Buckner at first and struck out. 0 for 2 with an RBI. White Sox lead 5-2. Fly ball left center field. Pretty well hit. Armas on the move. Tracking, and makes the catch at the warning track. There's Armas, never taking his eye off the ball. He had to go back a long way for that one, back and to his right. But he ran it down, and that's the bottom line. Lyons is now 0 for 3, and Harold Baines the batter. Baines is 1 for 3. It was Baines that precipitated the big rhubarb. Well, actually, he didn't precipitate it. He was involved in it. When he had a ground ball to the first baseman Buckner back in the 5th inning, Buckner flipped the ball to Clemens, who it appeared stepped on first for the final out. Fly ball, deep center field, way back, and Armas at the wall makes the catch. Well, Armas used all of Comiskey Park to get to that one as he's pinned against the cushions of the center field wall. As Harold hits it to straightaway center, well over 400 feet. And Armas back against the wall as he hauls it in. He used every inch of the ballpark for that one. Greg Kosk on the play in the 5th inning said that Clemens did not touch first base. The go-ahead run scored. Clemens bumped Kosk and was thrown out of the game. Greg Walker 2 for 3. Then Clemens, later during the argument, had to be physically restrained by his teammates, Jim Rice and Don Baylor. Al Nipper was thrown out of the game off the bench. And a broken bat liner into center field, base hit. He sawed the bat off in his hands, and Walker has his 3rd hit of the night. The first hit off Lawler, and base hit number 11. Here it is. You'll see the barrel end of the bat go flying off toward the left of your screen right there. Walker left with a handle in his hand right there. You see it. He will toss it down as he legs out his base hit. And Greg has his 3rd 3-hit game of the year. 11 hits for the Sox. And Ron Hasse has grounded into 2 double plays, walked and scored a run. Grounds one weakly to first. Buckner has it, goes to the bag, and that will retire the side. No runs, a base hit, a man is left. We've completed 7 with the White Sox leading 5-2.
If you haven't seen your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer for a deal on a Laser or GTS, you better hurry.
Right now, get the GTS with 5.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back. Or the Laser with 8.5% or $500 cash back.
And they're covered by Chrysler's 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. This is your best chance to get a special price on Chrysler Pride and Performance. But hurry.
Benoit Motor Sales on Lake Avenue in Woodstock. The Carnival is coming to town. The Carnival of Value circular from True Value hardware stores. In it, you'll find this Plano Tote More Tote Tray for just $4.99 and True Seal waterproofing coating for only $6.99 a gallon. The Master Mechanic 17-piece 1/4-inch drive socket set is just $7.99,
And this Black & Decker smoke alarm, complete with 9-volt battery, is only $877 in the Carnival of Value circular from most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
I said to my wife yesterday, I said, why don't we get new carpeting? She says, okay, I'll have it installed tomorrow. I said, you'll have new carpeting in here tomorrow? Sure you will. Well, she calls this 588-2300C and talks to this Empire guy. You know the one. He says,
Empire today, carpeting tomorrow.
so tonight I see this beautiful carpeting all installed one day. Hey, Empire, what took you so long?
588-2300 Empire.
Well, tomorrow's an off day for the Sox, but Friday, when they take on the Detroit Tigers, Lee Jeans and Just Pants are teaming up to present White Sox Flight Bag Night. That means the first 15,000 ladies, 15 and over, who attend Friday night's game will receive a free White Sox flight bag, compliments of Lee Jeans and Just Pants. For tickets, call 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office. The White Sox are leading 5-2 as we go to the 8th inning, and back to call the action for you, Don Drysdale.
All right, Frank, and for Boston, their leadoff hitter, Ed Romero, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Wade Boggs, and then Billy Buckner in that order. Romero takes low, the count 1-0. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Hewlett, a few steps behind the bag at third. Line to the alley, right center field. Baines in a hurry, runs it down. That ball slicing back to Baines, and Harold able to run it down. There you see Harold, a good jump, cutting right straight across. So with one out, that will bring on Wade Boggs, who tonight is 0 for 2. Has flied to left, and he has bounced to short. His third time at bat. He led off the 6th inning with a walk. He was left stranded at first. On the corner, the count is 0-1. Detroit now 11-3 over Cleveland in the 9th. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Mentioned before, Montreal defeated that score after this pitch. Here's a line drive by Hewlett. Now Boggs with a base hit. Montreal defeated Pittsburgh 3-2, and for Wade, that breaks him out of an 0 for 16 streak. There you see it again. There's the palm ball up over the plate, and he hits it hard by Hewlett, who had no chance. So Boggs 1 now for 17, and it'll bring on Billy Buckner, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Bounced to second, struck out, fly to left. Low in the count, 1-0. Bob James throwing down in the Sox bullpen. 1 out, 1 on, and the White Sox on top 5-2. One and 1 the count. Mentioned before, it'll be an off day tomorrow. And then the Tigers come to town. On Friday night, it'll be Richard Dotson and Walt Terrell. Saturday night, don't forget that 6 o'clock start. Floyd Bannister and Jack Morris. There's a bouncer, should be 2. Cruz to Guillen for 1, and they double him up. So the Red Sox are gone in the 8th. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave nobody. To the bottom of the 8th inning, 5-2 White Sox.
7.9% financing on used cars.
And a 7-day exchange plan.
You'll find your next used car at Willowbrook Ford. With over 150 specially selected vehicles to choose from, we know you'll find something you like And you'll love the low 7.9% financing.
And we're so confident that you'll like your car that we offer you a 7-day exchange plan if you're not completely satisfied.
7.9% financing on used cars.
And a 7-day exchange plan.
But only this month, and only at Willowbrook Ford on Route 83.
Willowbrook Ford.
Looking for that perfect ace? Tune to Sports Vision to catch the pace. It's the best of the women and the top men pros. Keep your eye on the ball. Watch where it goes. If you like racket sports and tennis is your game, to miss all the action would be a shame. Topspin, side spin, they've got the shots. They sure please the crowd from elders to tots. So if tennis is your thing, be sure and watch Sports Vision and get into the swing.
You know, I believe in old-time values. When something works, you keep doing it. In 27, my dad took me to my first ball game. The crowd, the excitement. I took my son in 52. Now we bring his kids.
Hey, come on, we're going to be late for the game.
Going to the ballpark in this family has become a tradition. If you're missing it, you're missing something important. Hey, you owe it to them.
Major League Baseball, a family tradition.
Here's Bob Stanley as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, a record of 5-3 and a 3.90 ERA, making his 45th appearance of the year. Bob, with 14 saves, has worked in 55 1/3 innings, as he is the 4th Red Sox pitcher of the evening. And Carlton Fisk will lead it off. And a reminder that, well, here's a great deal from Arby's. You can get 1/2 price tickets to 6 selected White Sox home games, courtesy of Arby's. Just stop into any Chicagoland Arby's location, make a minimum $2.50 purchase, receive your free 1/2 price coupon, good for any box reserve or general admission seat. Now, that offer is good while it lasts. Plus, the White Sox will donate 50 cents from each coupon redeemed to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Carlton Fisk, the first man to face Stanley, and takes a strike. Fisk has popped to third, flied to center, and flied to right. Started the ball off on the left side, went up the middle, then to the right fielder. Shows bunt, takes the bat away, and the count is 1-1. And Stanley with a little breaking pitch. Looked like a pretty good slider for a ball and 2 strikes. Stanley's 44 appearances, the most of any Sox pitcher. They've all been in relief. And he comes in high. Fouled off. Carlton finding the base hits hard to come by, and fouls one down off his foot. Fisk with 0 for 3 tonight. Had 2 hits last night, his first multi-hit game since June 30th out on the West Coast in Anaheim. That last one stung a bit. Carlton with 4 hits in his last 49 at-bats. You take a look at Bob Stanley, who has been a bellwether out of the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox over recent years. Two balls and 2 strikes. And a little looper to the shortstop, and picked right off his shoe tops by the second baseman Stapleton as he had shifted over on Fisk. So the overshift will pay off right here as Stapleton on the shortstop side of second base in good position to make the catch as he picked it right off his shoe tops and got it just in the webbing of his glove. Well, Fisk is retired. 1 out, and Tim Hewlett the batter. Hewlett, the hitting star for the Sox tonight, with 2 singles and a 2-run homer. Takes a strike. Hewlett opened the 3rd inning with a single to center field. He started the 5th inning with a single to center and scored the first of 3 Sox runs, and then a 2-run homer in the 6th. 1-1. The home run was Hewlett's 10th of the year. He has hit in 6 straight games, and his 4th hit of the ball game. Tim Hewlett lines his 4th hit of the night. And we'll take another look at that one.
Now, Timmy Hewlett, when you're hot, you're hot. As he just kind of had the rear end out, turned the bat over, and lines it to left.
First time in his career he's had 4 hits in a ball game. Hewlett on 5 occasions before this year had as many as 3 hits in a game, but this is his first 4-hit ball game in the major leagues. And now Ozzie Guillen, he's had 2 for 3 and has been on base 3 times, reaching on a force play in the 3rd, then having base hits in the 5th and 6th. The White Sox with a dozen base hits in the ball game, leading Boston 5-2. Now Buckner was not on the bag over at first, but Stanley threw directly to Buckner. That's a strike. 1-2 to Guillen. The Detroit-Cleveland game is in the 9th inning. Cleveland batting and trailing 11-3 to the Tigers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Texas leads Baltimore 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Jim Fregosi looking on from the White Sox dugout. Toronto leading Kansas City 5-1. Runner goes, and Guillen fouls it off. So Hewlett will cut back across the diamond to first base. This afternoon, Milwaukee shut out the New York Yankees 5-0. That was a 6-hitter by Teddy Higuera. Guillen, fly ball into fairly shallow right field. Evans will move in for the catch, and Hewlett back to first. 2 down. That win for Higuera this afternoon was his 9th complete game of the year. He's tied with Morris of Detroit, Witt of California, and Candiani of Cleveland for the most complete games. 9. Julio is 1 for 2. Strike 1. Cruz walked in the 3rd, bunted for a base hit in the 5th, and grounded out in the 6th. No balls and 2 strikes. His bunt hit in the 5th inning was a big base hit. It loaded the bases, and the Sox went on to score 3 runs, overcoming a 2-0 Boston lead to take a 3-2 lead, and now it's 5-2 Chicago. 1-2 to Julio Cruz. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bob Stanley is the 4th Boston pitcher. Roger Clemens is the pitcher of record. Went 4 2/3 innings, charged with 3 runs. 2 earned, 1 unearned on his own error. Full count, 3-2. Clemens gave up 8 base hits, walked 1 and struck out 1. Sammy Stewart went 1 1/3 innings. It was Stewart who gave up Hewlett's 2-run homer. Then Lawler, now Stanley. Runner goes and ball 4. Bo Cruz draws his second walk tonight. Hewlett goes to second base, and with 2 outs, we'll look at the top of the order at John Cangelosi. Cruz has walked 4 times in the last 2 ball games. Twice last night, twice tonight. And Cangy takes a strike. Cangelosi had a bunt hit in the 3rd. Reached on a force out in the 5th and scored. He is 1 for 4 with a run batted in. 2 strikes. Hewlett, the lead runner at second. Julio Cruz, the base runner at first. 2 outs and a no ball, 2 strike count. 1-2 now to Cangelosi. Right back up the middle, base hit, and that's going to score Hewlett. The play will be at third base, and the throw gets away, and that will allow Cruz to score. 2 runs cross the plate, and Chicago now leads by a score of 7-2.
Take a look at it again. That ball just hit hard right back up the middle. Now, they were not going to get Timmy Hewlett 2 outs running all the way, but they did have an excellent chance of Cruz at third, except it looked like Boggs was blocked out. He got on the wrong side. And that ball went by into the dugout. So Cruz scores. Cangelosi goes to second on the air. There you see how Boggs was blocked out. 2 runs in for the White Sox. They lead it 7-2.
1 RBI, of course, for Cangelosi, and a run will score, and I'm sure they will charge the error on the throw to Armas. It's not always a correct decision, but 99% of the time, the man who makes the throw will get the error. Or so it seems to be, even though Boggs was blocked out on it. And it looked like the ball was playable by Boggs. It was not a bad throw is what I'm saying, but sometimes you're penalized, and not rightfully so. Lions now with a count of 2-1. So Chicago leading 7-2. Three and two. It must be closing in on the end of July, Don. That'll walk the Lions. And Johnny McNamara.
Well, Mac can't be too happy. I'll tell you, this is not the Bob Stanley we've seen many years in the past, Frank. The Red Sox have had a little problem in their bullpen. Whether some of it's overworked or whatever it is. But Stanley, we've seen him with much better command than what he's had tonight.
Well, he'll try to get Baines for the last out, with Chicago leading 7-2. Lyons back to first. Cangelosi back to second. It's been a long road trip for the Red Sox. Baines to center field. Armas broke late on it, but he runs it down and makes a great play. For the second time tonight, Harold Baines has sent Armas to the wall in center field to make a catch. The Sox score twice, and at the end of 8, it's Chicago 7 and Boston 2.
Don't just brew a beer this good. You nurture it day and night. But we don't mind. Our nights make Michelob. And Michelob could make your night the best part of your day.
Are you ready for the biggest carpet news since 3-day delivery? 1-day delivery. That's correct. 1 day. Call Empire today and you can be walking on beautiful new brand name carpeting tomorrow. Prices still start at only $6.95 installed with padding. And you get 60 days to make your first payment. So call now. Empire operators are always on duty.
588-2300 Empire.
Empire today, carpeting tomorrow.
Well, our next White Sox game on Sports Vision will come your way Friday at 7 when the Sox host the Detroit Tigers. Starting pitchers will be Walt Terrell for Detroit, 9-8, and Richard Dotson with a record of 7-11 for the Sox. That'll be Friday at 7 right here on Sports Vision. Well, the paid attendance has been announced, 30,889 here at Comiskey Park. As we go to the 9th inning, the Red Sox will have Rice, Baylor, and Evans, with Chicago leading down 7-2.
And Jim Rice is 0 for 3 tonight. He has lined to second, lined to short, fouled out to the catcher. Now Dave Schmidt trying to close it off right here. Jams him. Ozzie Guillen to his left. On to Walker. 1 away. And it'll bring on Don Baylor. I mentioned the Tigers coming in Friday night after an off day tomorrow. Richard Dotson and Walt Terrell on Friday night. Floyd Bannister and Jack Morris. That'll be a 6 o'clock game on Saturday. And then at 1:30, it'll be Neil Allen and Randy O'Neill in the finale. That will be on Sunday. So here's Don Baylor. And it'll mark the final appearance of the Tigers at Comiskey Park this year. Don takes low, the count 1-0. Baylor has walked, he has struck out, and he has homered. So that's just about a cycle right there for a hitter. A walk, a strikeout, and a home run. Not the cycle that you talk about. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's sort of an elevator ride from the basement to the penthouse with a stop in between.
That's right. A shot. Guillen has it go off the heel of his glove, and that'll be a base hit for Baylor. Second hit off of Schmidt, and it'll bring on Dwight Evans.
Well, we'll take another look at it. Ball is hit hard. Guillen will get leather on it with a backhand effort, but it's off the heel of his glove and bounces away into left field. And Baylor has his second hit of the night, a single to go with his 4th inning home run.
Here's Dwight Evans. He has struck out. He's popped to the catcher and lined to short. Cannon over. The count is 0-1. Detroit has defeated Cleveland 11-3. And the count is 0-2. California over Oakland 6-2, a final. Montreal defeated Pittsburgh 3-2. Cardinals 6-3 over the Phillies, a final. They're in a 3-3 tie in Texas. Baltimore and the Rangers, bottom of the 8th. 7-1 Toronto over Kansas City, bottom of the 8th. Ground ball. Hewlett has it fair. They go to second for one, and they double him up. The ball game is over. In a 5-4-3 double play. And the White Sox turn over pitcher's best friend, Dave Schmidt, kind of looking around in a little disbelief as he finally realizes everything is sunk in. Jim Fregosi shakes his hand as the White Sox, in game number 3, they take the rubber game. The final score, the White Sox 7 and the Boston Red Sox 2. We'll be back.
Time's running out on the deals at Toyota. July is jumping. Toyota's jumping. There's only a few more days left for incredible deals on the biggest selection of Toyota cars ever, including Tercels, Toyota's lowest priced car. Only a few more days to take advantage of factory-to-dealer incentives on the biggest selection of Toyota trucks ever. So jump on in before time runs out. The deals are clicking, but the clock is ticking because July is jumping.
Besides pitching batting practice, I'm also the team's traveling secretary, so I know a good flight bag when I see one. And this is a beauty. You can get one free, courtesy of Lee Jeans and Just Pants, if you're one of the first 15,000 ladies 15 and over to attend the Sox-Tigers game Friday night, August 1st at Comiskey Park. It's the official flight bag of the White Sox, and it's great for any road trip.
Thanks, Glenn.
Flight Bag Night, sponsored by Lee Jeans, Just Pants.
The decision is unanimous. Come out from your corners and take a seat ringside, because Sports Vision brings you the best in championship boxing. Sports Vision covers world-class boxers from across the country. Don't miss the stinging blows and head-jolting jabs. You'll need some fancy footwork to get away from all the exciting action. Yes, the decision is official. When it comes to the best in boxing, Sports Vision's a knockout. Tyrone Trice goes against Curtis Summit in a 10-round welterweight bout with Kronk Boxing, Tuesday night on Sports Vision.
If you haven't seen your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer for a deal on a Laser or GTS, you better hurry.
Right now, get the GTS with 5.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back. Or the Laser with 8.5% or $500 cash back.
And they're covered by Chrysler's 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. This is your best chance to get a special price on Chrysler Pride and Performance. But hurry.
Center Garage on West 133rd in Cedar Lake.
The Carnival is coming to town. The Carnival of Values circular from True Value hardware stores. In it, you'll find this General Electric 40-watt fluorescent lamp for just $1.29. And the 22-foot roll of 3M press-in-place caulk for only $2.99, less a $2 mail-in rebate. True Test Professional Glass Cleaner is just 98 cents a quart. And this True Test 4-inch paintbrush is only $4.77 in the Carnival of Value circular from most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Now the totals on tonight's game for the White Sox: 7 runs on 13 hits, no errors, and they left 8. For the Red Sox, 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, they left 4. De Leon the winner, and Jose picks up his first win as a member of the White Sox. He is 1-0, did a fine job doing it. The loss goes to Roger Clemens. He is 17-3, and credit Dave Schmidt with his 6th save of the year. So tonight here, the White Sox in the rubber game. They defeat the Boston Red Sox by that final score of 7-2. Roger Clemens starting off had a 2-0 lead, and then the White Sox kind of pecked away a little bit, and it was really kind of, Frank, a freak play that put the White Sox on top after they had tied the score. And go ahead, let's take another look at it.
Well, let's do right here. Harold Baines, the batter, Don. And he'll hit the ground ball down to Buckner at first base. Now, Buckner comes up with the ball, does not make a perfect throw, but he underhands the toss to his pitcher, Clemens. Right there, it looks like Clemens steps on first base. Baines is out for the third out, but no. As Buckner starts for the dugout, Kost, the first base umpire, says that Clemens missed the bag. Clemens argues, bumps him, Kost throws him out of the game. The go-ahead run scores, and that's got to be the key call, key play in the ball game right there, Don, as the Sox took a 3-2 lead.
And then Timmy Hewlett steps up in the bottom of the 6th inning. A man aboard, and Sammy Stewart, the pitcher. It's his 10th home run of the year. RBIs number 29 and 30. Ron Hasse on base, and the White Sox at that time went ahead by a score of 5-2. They picked up 2 more in the 8th inning, and the final score 7-2. But I'll tell you, you've got to give, I think, the young right-hander, Jose De Leon, he just did an excellent job. 2 runs on 3 hits in the 6 innings he was in there.
And he only walked 2 guys after walking 6 in his first start for the Sox down in Baltimore, Don. I agree with you. De Leon is going to be, looks like a very good pickup for the White Sox.
Well, he's got a great arm. We saw that tonight. 2 great arms out there. Roger Clemens starting, and just kind of a different situation, got rid of Clemens. But Timmy Hewlett, a big night. He was 4 for 4. We're going to have all the scores for you when we come right back.
This game has been brought to you in part by Michelob, exceptionally smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. Winning numbers are now drawn twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday. Play Lotto. And by your neighborhood True Value store. And by Toyota. Compare, it's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by Empire. Carpeting from $6.95 a yard installed, including polyfoam padding and delivery in 72 hours. And by Hertz. You don't just rent a car, you rent a company.